Welcome to another weekly Weeb news. That's right, we're back here again to talk about the atrocities being committed against One Piece. Excuse me, not One Piece, One Punch Man. I'm getting all my animes mixed up now. It's so awful, it's rotting my brain just looking at it. That's right. Now we're not doing cigarettes. Remember when Sanji lost his cigarette and got a lollipop instead? Well, Zombie Man's traded in nicotine addiction for diabetes.
I was shocked when I saw it too, and somehow I survived. I feel like I need to get a shirt that says "I survived One Punch Man season 3."
I feel like Nerdigans, if you wanted to make a lot of money, you'd hop over to Redbubble and just make that.
I survived One Punch Man season 3 and have Zombie Man with a lollipop.
I don't know about Zombie Man because he's a controlled character, but just put a lollipop icon next to it, like the lollipop emoji next to it.
Oh my god, no, it should be Zombie Man with the lollipop and be like, I survived One Punch Man season 3 at this
But that's what I mean. You can put a design up on Redbubble and put it with your posts about you and Zeno on X.
Yeah, on Twitter. That'd be really funny. I should.
And you can put it with your Patreon too. I mean, that works great, especially as how terrible this is getting. It's not going to get any better, by the way. It's not like they're going to...
I should use those horrible filter colors too. Oh my god, those filter colors. There's such choices.
Liberty Medical.
Oh my god.
Diabetes testing supplies.
Like I swear to God, God is just testing me. He is, especially with in the West, even in Australia too, the bad news that's happening there. And it's only the first night of Hanukkah and I'm being tested. Well, today's second day of Hanukkah, but I'm being tested big time.
Well, the world is changing very fast, and to help us usher in that change is also Richard's here saying yo, and we have Hibiki Gamer here as well, right out of the gate saying hi. So welcome aboard, guys. I know this kind of comes off as a bit random because we switched over here so quick without so much of a big announcement. But yeah, this is the Weekly Weeb News. It takes the slot of 01, and we're going to focus on anime stuff in this one. So here we go. Top of the list tonight is good news, apart from this stupid warning. Sorry about that. Gotta love it. I'm not going to accept your cookies. Anyway, we have a Gundam premiere night. It's a runtime of 2 hours and 55 minutes, and it's going to feature Erd Hunt and Endless Waltz. So
yeah, this is only going to be a 3-day thing. This is the Gundam
movie
event that
theaters,
isn't movie theaters. Yeah, this is the Gundam theatrical event that is happening in Japan. That's coming here. The thing that's just frustrating about this is typical anime movie situation, that it's not going to get any marketing. Despite like everything that happened with Chainsaw Man and Demon Slayer, it's just, especially this is Gundam Wing's 10-year anniversary, and Gundam Wing is extremely popular here in the West. It's not getting any marketing at all.
I don't think they know how to market it. I really don't think they know how to market it to people anymore. Like, for some reason, everybody's forgot that this cool story about an American Revolution in space, because when you zoom out on what's happening between Oz, the Rockefeller's, and the colonies, guess what? It's the American Revolution all over again. I guess they just don't feel comfortable anymore talking about that because it's faux pas to be nice to America.
Well, I think I don't know if it's for kids, not for kids, I'm sorry.
Not yet. We'll get there.
I don't know if it's G Kids that's doing it or not. I think it is. But if they are, it's like, dude, that's Toho. Toho, what is going on? You said that you were going to like market anime better and try to compete with Sony, because Sony's Crunchyroll, and try and offer competition. Sony's doing a fantastic job. You saw what they did with Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man. They marketed the hell out of it. Here, we're not getting anything. And it's the same Spencer and I talked about with Lupin the Third. Like, Lupin the Third's getting its first 2D animated movie in years. Lupin the Third actually has a decent sized fan base. Not as big as like Gundam Wing, obviously, but it has a decent sized fan base. And it's a beautiful, beautiful looking movie. It is. And it's just so surprising that it's not getting marketed as much as it should. Hell, TMS Entertainment has been showing Lupin the Third on YouTube. You can watch it for free, different Lupin the Third movies on YouTube for free. And it's just like, really, you're not going to market the hell out of this movie? You're only going to do a 3-day event? That's just the weirdest thing to me. I
Well,
think it's weirder for Mobile Suit Gundam to get this treatment than Lupin the Third, to be honest.
Well, and that's just it, is that things are changing as emphasis is being put on different properties now, that the entire market is just sort of on its face. Everything that had worked over the past 20 years is now no longer working in alarming fashion. And so different ideas are coming to the surface now that never have before, sort of like we're getting theatrical releases of Gundam anime movies now. Back to back, by the way, not spread 1,000 miles apart, right? Kind of like what happened with Gundam NT, Gundam Narrative. That just flew apart immediately. It showed up and it left. Nobody cared. It was awful. I feel so bad because that was such a fun story, apart from the experimenting on a little girl part. That was terrible. But that was such a really well put together story about what the hell went on with the unicorn program after Van Azure. But it just gone. Doesn't matter anymore. We even got to see Sinanju Stein. And that is the prototype, which, as you know, in Gundam, anything older than the current model is much more powerful because somehow that's how it works. But that was the prototype to Char's mobile suit. We got to see that thing kick ass and blow holes in colonies, but whatever. But speaking of Lupin the Third, I did see this a couple weeks ago and I never got to bring it up. This is the crossover we need.
Yes.
We have a member of the chat just nailing it right on the head here. We have Nerdy Texan Accountant, member of the channel, by the way, saying, I like Lupin the Third. Well, how would you like a Lupin the Third Detective Conan crossover, right?
Which does work.
Conan has to help the detective catch Lupin, but in the end, he lets him go.
Which does work because they're both animated by TMS. So
maybe this new Lupin movie will have a fun crossover we've never heard of. It would be great if they could bring in the Kamen Rider W guys as well to get all the anime crime fighters together. That would be fun. So you have Kamen Rider Skull running around in the same universe as Lupin. That would be a lot of fun. Exactly, Richard. It'd be very cool to see this. So this is one of the things that I really hope that Japan starts to embrace, is like these very strange crossovers that don't ordinarily work, but in this new environment where everybody's familiar with these properties now, they will work. So
I mean, we're seeing
more
for
fan fiction writers.
Well, I mean, we're seeing more like influence-wise anyway. Spencer and I talked about it. We saw with the Kamen Rider influence in Digimon with Chirokumon's Digivolution. We have the Kamen Rider influence there.
Yep.
And now we're getting more Kamen Rider's getting a lot more love lately. I don't know if you've noticed that in a lot. It's
hard not to notice. It's everywhere. I'm surprised it didn't show up in the Turkey Day parade.
Seriously.
The news though that's going around, apart from Gundam being in America again, what do you know, is that Erd Hunt is out. Okay. Now, if you're not familiar, Erd Hunt is a collection of cutscenes with a little bit of animation to move between them from a mobile game. And so they just kind of expanded out what they didn't have, like what was stored in the kind of character dialogue on screen. They ironed that out into being actual scenes where the characters are talking to each other, but the majority of the stuff is what you've already seen in the mobile game. But it's very important because much like Gundam Wing, the story of Iron-Blooded Orphans was a huge success over here. People are still talking about it in the USA because, once again, you have a scrappy underdog against an oppressive, oligarchic sort of high society environment, very much mimicking how the English were when the American Revolution happened. How about that?
But still no marketing for this double feature.
This just hit me right now as we're talking about this. It would be such a great idea if they stepped back, right? If Sunrise stepped back and said, hold on, next year is the 250th anniversary of the United States. Of course we should be releasing these revolutionary anime that have like parallels with that story in July. That would be fantastic.
Amazing. Do like a mega a screening for July 4th.
They could have Hiro Yui holding the American flag and the colony flags together with, the Gundam behind him, with the spread wings behind him.
Well, they opened They opened the Gundam store in Chicago, of all places. I think that was like this past week too. Of all places, Chicago.
Yeah, right. Like, You know, but keep flammable materials away from that place. If, yeah, right. We do have some other news going on in the world right now. Siren is apparently taking over the anime world as we speak. Now,
Oh my
here it
god!
again.
Like, so
I
here,
don't
let
know
me
much
explain
about
this.
this,
Okay, so
so
Siren, this is a cult anime. Okay,
oh,
so Siren is a manga that came out like in 2007, and it's an axe series. So it got axed in like 2010, and it has a cult following, and people, including Western, it has a huge Western following too. But Japanese fans have been demanding that this series get an anime for years.
oh,
And yeah, it's been in the list. Like if you look at the list for series that manga that Japanese fans want to get adapted into an anime, Siren is has always been there, especially in the last few years. And to see it get finally get an anime, it's just incredible. And this is coming off of Black Cat's announcement. We'll talk about Black Cat a little bit later when we get to Jump
not that
Festa's
black cat,
content.
and different had black cat. Okay, don't get excited about big boobies. That's not what we're talking about.
No. And like the fact that we're seeing axed series getting adaptations like this is incredible because this opens the
Yeah,
door for even more series to get adapted. And in this case with Siren, it's going to be very interesting because the mangaka of this series says they're going to be, they said they're going to be working on the script. So we might
oh,
get to see the story that they wanted to tell that they couldn't tell because the series got axed. We might get to see that in this anime. And if that is the case, that's good. Again, that will open the doors for a lot of act series that that can get a second chance via an anime adaptation, which would be
well, and
incredible to see.
that's just what's happening right now. Again, like what we were just discussing with Gundam on its like American resurgence over here, trying to penetrate the American market. Again, like these animation studios in Japan are reviewing past successes and taking a look at these things with a different lens. Because as I said, the market's on its face now around the world. What worked 20 years ago is not working in 25, and it is not going to work in 26. So Siren stands a chance at being one of the standout animes like Jujutsu Kaisen was. It just
Mm-hmm.
came out of nowhere and took over the world with like no tangible connection to the predecessors that it had, you know? This is one of the things that was interesting about My Hero Academia when it showed up is it took a lot of the energy from the tournament parts of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and sort of translated that into a high schooler's adventure becoming a superhero.
Well, Jujutsu Kaisen
Whereas
was influenced by Bleach more than anything else.
see, I would have only have guessed that because of the way that Bankai presents itself as monsters sometimes. So,
Well, if you
oh
think
wait,
about domain
Byakuya
expansion,
did have the domain change, didn't he?
yeah,
Byakuya.
the Bankais would be domain. That's what domain expansions are essentially. Are Bankais?
Huh.
Yeah,
That's a crossover that would be fun.
yeah, like Bleach and Bleach has influenced series like Black Clover, and I think that Bleach even influenced Demon Slayer, if I remember correctly, as well as Jujutsu Kaisen. You wouldn't, and a lot of people in the West specifically shit on Bleach, and it's like, dude, you wouldn't have some of these series that you like if it wasn't for Bleach.
Hmm.
And also in the case of Siren, in Japan, they already announced that it has 16 volumes, and all 16 volumes are getting a reprint. So we might see like we'll keep checking the Oricon rankings. We might see like a huge resurgence of
Yeah.
Siren. Hell, we might get a sequel. Might see a sequel manga for Siren if the sales do well enough for it.
Hibiki Gamer asks, Cider, have you watched the very old anime Demon Lord Dante? No, I haven't heard of that even. I'm
I
very
haven't
sorry.
heard of it either.
It might be something that just kind of skipped over me. See, I got my anime through Suncoast, and I didn't get to that store very often. It was like 2 or 3 times a year I got to go there, so it was mostly just Dragon Ball that I picked up.
Oh my
So,
god! See, hearing Suncoast, I feel so old because I used to get a lot of my stuff from
right?
Suncoast.
I mean, you know you're an OG if you remember Basement Dubs and if you remember Suncoast. You know you're an OG.
And Blockbuster as well, and Hollywood
Sure.
Video.
But they had like 2. You had like Vampire Hunter D at Blockbuster, and that was it, you know? Everything else didn't really come through for a while.
But yeah.
Speak,
This is going to be really good. It's good. I'm curious, like what we're going to get on the Western side of things, especially in terms of Siren.
probably the simuldub that everything's been getting. I mean, I can't
Well,
imagine
no,
what that would be.
I'm talking about in terms of the manga. If we're going to get, if they're going to do like a, because I don't remember. I don't think it got a full release. I don't remember. We might get a full. We might get omnibuses, which would be really nice to see.
Manga omnibus. It must be like tomes.
Well, no, like omnibuses would be like 3 volumes in one kind of thing.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I'm just having a little trouble with the webpage for some reason. So, but I did want to bring up next, though, that we do have a preview trailer for Black Torch.
Oh yeah, so Black Torch is the other act series I was talking about. This the mangaka actually did a series not too long ago called Heart Gear, but unfortunately, due to their health, they had to it prematurely ended because of that. They it just really sucks because Heart Gear is a really good mecha dystopian series, but yeah, health issues kept them from really finishing it. But yeah, so this is the one that's starting the Axed revolution, so to speak, and we're going to see more of Black Torch at Jump Festa this weekend. I'm really looking forward to seeing what we're going to get. This one and also Siren, they're both coming out next year. And the art animation look great. In the case of Siren, it's Satellite that's doing the animation for that one. This one
looks what other one did they do?
Satellite? I don't remember off the top of my head. Let me look at that up real quick.
Animation Studio. Just looking it up, guys. Let's see. They did Earth Maiden Arjuna, Heat Guy J, Genesis Aquarian. Okay, now I know. All right. So yeah, they're good for it. They did Aquarian, so they did Macross Frontier as well. Holy wow. Oh, Fairy Tale. That's where I recognize those boobs from. Those are fairy tale boobs.
In terms of
very
Siren,
distinct boobs.
Well, this is different. That's Siren. This one, this is Black Cat. But yeah, in terms of Siren's a supernatural series. So yeah, this Satellite will do some really good stuff for it. I think for Black Cat, let me double check the studio for this one. The studio for this one is wait, no.
I don't know.
The right one? Hold on a second.
I don't know what it is.
I'm looking at the wrong one here.
But it does remind me a lot of King of High School. That maybe it's the hairstyle, but it does remind me a lot of King of High School. Also, it's like, what did we have? We had Luna, Yoruichi, and now this character. It's the talking Black Cat.
Oh, I said Black Cat when I meant Black Torch. I'm sorry. I got my anime mixed up. Yeah, it's Black Torch. That's why I got it confused.
Black Torch here is showing us this talking Black Cat. It seems to be a theme in a lot of the anime that Black Cats are going to talk to you and talk a bunch of shit.
It's 100 Studio that's doing the animation for it for Black Torch.
100. Those boobs look so familiar. Oh well. Many such cases.
They did. This is a newer studio. They were founded like in 2021, so they've done Quality Assurance in Another World, the Mononoke lecture logs of Chizinji Sensei, and another series that they're working on besides Black Torch is the Vermilion Mask.
Richard says he's surprised the Siren manga are in English.
Yeah. Hold on, let me make sure I'm right on that. Yeah, Siren. If Siren wasn't available in English, it probably was because of the. Yeah, it was available in English. Yeah, I knew it was because I was like, wait. Yeah, it was. It was. It was released starting October 11th. October 4th, 2011. There we go.
Oh, okay. It's been around for a while now, about 14 years. Yeah.
Yeah, since the final volume released in 2014.
Okay.
But yeah.
We do have a question. We do have a statement rather from Punctrice here, 9028. I don't know what that would. I'm sorry, I'm used to 90210. Got all tripped up there. Anyway, I've tried to watch anime on different streaming services, and it's not easy to know which anime series and which movies are worth watching. What I can tell you, honestly, 100%, is that usually the thumbnail advertising it way over jazzes what the story is about to begin with. So your best bet is to hop on over to YouTube, type in that title, and then write the word shit. Okay? Search that. And then you'll know. You'll know for damn sure if it's good or not, because there will be people there that are like, this is shit. Don't touch this. Go stay away from it. So there you go. That's my best advice to you, is that if you have any questions, like you run across something like this Demon Lord Dante that Hibiki Gamer was talking about, and you're not sure about it, search it over on YouTube with the word shit after the title, and you'll find out real quick. That's my best advice. You should look up Demon Lord Dante. It's a very old Japanese anime. I watched it years ago. Okay. Well, I'll check it out. I mean, it doesn't hurt. I prefer the older stuff anyway. A lot of the newer stuff is just sort of, I don't know. I guess I'm showing my age. You know, I'm showing my age. Even though it's quality stuff, it's not bad. Well, except for One Punch Man. Even though
the anime Dark Age is real. Let's be clear.
Yeah. It's become quite people talk about derivative, but I don't even think that really quantifies it. It's really become, if it works, we're gonna do it till it's dead. And it's very tiresome. I don't want another Evangelion movie. Please, no more Evangelion. No more. Gainax officially went out of business too. That was official.
Finally. Gainax is officially dead, sadly.
But you know what's not dead, Nerdigans?
What?
The Ace of Diamond.
Oh, Diamond No Ace Act 2. So there's good news and bad news. Good news, Diamond No Ace Act 2 is back. Bad news, it's not going to be done by Madhouse. It is going to be done by OLM. And that really, really sucks, because Madhouse is, if you've watched Diamond No Ace, because Madhouse did Diamond No Ace in the first season of Act 2. And they literally adapted it panel for panel, and they did a fantastic job of doing it. It's like literally what a manga to anime adaptation should be. And what we're going to be seeing here is basically with the same thing that happened to Captain Tsubasa 2018, where in that case it was David Productions that did the first season, and it was beautiful. Oh my god! If you have not watched Captain Tsubasa 2018, the first season, go watch it. It is stunning. The second season, which is World Youth, I think it was OLM that got that one as well. It is a huge downgrade. It is like, it is awful to watch it after you see what David Productions did in with 2018. That's going to be the situation here. It's a huge downgrade. It is.
See, it's rapidly becoming clear that Studio Madhouse is that hot girl that you date in your teens or whatever, but she goes off to college, you can never talk to her again or whatever, and then you're stuck with some plain old thing that you find in college, you know? Well, and she's good, she's nice to you. She's very nice, she likes you and whatnot, but you're always going to be thinking about that hot Madhouse girl. And that's what Madhouse is they come and they're like, delicious, delicious, beautiful, wonderful. I want you in my life forever. And she goes, I need to go find myself, and leaves you, and you never see her again. It's awful. Look what they did to One Punch Man. Madhouse with One Punch Man was amazing. Madhouse with just about any property is amazing. But the problem is they do one season and they're like, whoops, hot potato. And they toss it up into the air.
Well, the problem is that a lot with the anime is that these studios are booked in advance. You got to immediately book the same team in advance. But that did not happen for Diamond No Ace. Unfortunately, they didn't book the second season of Act 2 in advance. So the team that worked on the first season moved on, and that's what happened with One Punch Man. They just moved on. Hot girl. Just like that hot girl, you waited too long.
If you get with Madhouse, if you are lucky enough to find yourself in a car with Madhouse on a cliffside looking over a city and the moon is high in the sky, propose to Madhouse. Don't wait, don't blink, propose to them. Okay? Like the next anime that gets Madhouse should be like, what do I have to do to have you do everything forever? How many of my children do I need to give you?
Seriously.
I have several firstborns.
Like, don't get me wrong, like OLM does okay work. They do. It's not JC staff. At least they're not slave drivers like JC staff.
This doesn't look terrible. But this is the thing.
Like, it's not Madhouse.
What happens with Madhouse is that stuff that's really okay, that's like, you know, like you'd see this stuff on Toonami. It's good stuff. Like it's quality work. It's not sour. It's not bad. But Madhouse comes to like, you're going to meet your friends for a burger. All right. You're going to meet them at a shop. Okay. And everybody shows up with their motorcycles. And then your friend there, Madhouse, shows up with a Cadillac. That's the problem. Motorcycles perfectly fine. Cruise around, have fun. You see all those guys in Asia running around with their helmet cams, having a great time with their motorcycle meetups. But then the guy with the Cadillac shows up and steals the show. And that's what happens with Madhouse. Everybody else is here at 10 and they're up at 30. You know, they're cranked way above whatever anybody else thought was possible.
It's the same thing with David Productions as well. Like David Productions raises that bar too. It happened with Captain Tsubasa. And the thing is with Madhouse and David Productions, and I'm going to include Trigger in the equation as well, is that they only do like at most like 3 anime per year. So because they don't want to like kill themselves and kill their employees.
Yeah.
Unlike JC staff who wants to kill their employees. So
I guess you get a really good idea of the spectrum of work-life environment in Japan by just looking at the animation studios and what they're capable of doing. I mean, you get a really good idea of like,
they're not stretching their that's the difference between like as I said, between Trigger and like Madhouse and David Productions versus like a studio like JC staff is that, or I should say the majority of the studios and JC staff is that they're only doing at most like 3 animes per year because they know their limits. They know the limits of their employees and they don't want to kill them. And then you look at like JC staff and it's like they're doing 10 a year between 3 different studios and it's like, and they're doing like consecutive works. Like it's nonstop. It's horrible what they're doing to their animators. It is really bad. But yeah, OLM, I think they're doing, it's not as bad, obviously not as bad JC stuff is, but like they're doing consecutive works as well, I think. Because I think they're still doing Pokemon, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But because OLM did the Pokemon main series of Pokemon for the longest time. I don't know if they're still doing it.
Well, we had Well Read here just stopping by and saying, hoping things are going good during the holidays. And like we were talking before, like who isn't stressed out right now during the holidays? You were mentioning that the second night of Hanukkah and you were being tested. And I'm sure other people feel the same way as well of what's going on. So we appreciate that, Well Read. We appreciate that.
Oh, the news that's been happening over the past like 24 hours alone has just been insane.
We have a Weeky gamer mentioning that he watched Japanese anime dance in Vampire, Bund, and Vampire Rosary, and Darker Than Black. It's the people called contractors, special abilities. I'm not sure where that one comes from. I don't know those characters. I do know Darker Than Black. I've seen that one a long time ago, but that guy, that was a really strange one. That was another one you'd find on like Sci-Fi's anime selection.
That's what I thought, Spencer. I knew. Oh, I'm still doing Pokemon. That's what I figured. I figured that was the case.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, if it works for you, right? Sakura Mita asks, do you have any plans for a 01 Christmas? At this time, it's not going to be 01. That's over with. So I don't know for sure. I still have to talk to everybody if they want to participate in something like that, or we might just do a meetup, a Christmas meetup thing before the holiday actually hits. So who knows? But I do appreciate you bringing it up. We do have to talk about it eventually, I guess. So Yeah, we're living in some kind of parody of a dystopian film. Well, there's a lot of those floating around. But you know what isn't a dystopian film and isn't a dystopian environment? I have been very, very interested in this live action Sakamoto Days situation.
It looks
And
really good.
yeah, right. Like the first thing that came to my mind was, thank God Amazon didn't AI dub this.
Thank God.
Like that was my very first thought. And yeah, this looks, as usual with Japanese productions, it looks pretty dead on to how it would find its way into real life, right down to the fogged glasses. So,
Yeah,
I
we're
mean,
gonna get more. We'll get more info about it at Jump Festa this weekend, but it
well,
looks
that's good.
really good.
Yeah, I mean, if you were gonna like set out to do as usual, like I said, as usual, like the Yu Yu Hakusho anime is a live action show is probably the most visually stunning of these in recent years, anyway. And so I'm really interested to see how they do this. I like how they're using the color. I like how they're using the light. So I have a feeling that this is not going to be painful.
I'd say Tokyo Revengers has done the live action for that, and obviously Kingdom. Those have been like the best, and especially visually. And same with Golden Kamuy. Those three have been like the best visually.
I guess because I just have more of a emotional connection to Yu Yu Hakusho because I grew up with it, because it was airing on
Yeah.
Toonami excuse me, Adult Swim when we were coming up.
No, it was
So,
on Toonami. It was on Toonami.
oh,
Yeah.
the censored version was. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, like Yu Yu Hakusho is like, so that's why the live action version is just so stunning to me because I was like, whoa, Karama's whip is not a whip; it's an actual vine, like it's supposed to be. Like, wow. I'm so used to the MCU watering everything down. So when they did that Yu Yu Hakusho live action, it was just pow, blew my brain.
It's like
Crazy.
between like the Japanese live action productions have just been so incredible. Like there's Cells at Work that's looked really good. There's obviously now Sakamoto Days. Kaguya-sama Love is Wars looked accurate. Way of the House Husbands live action looks good. Like visually, the Japanese live action productions have gotten it. They have really gotten it down.
Well, and we're looking at this era where the Japanese are starting to embrace this as a secondary profit generator for the property. The
Yeah.
story's already there, the characters are already established, the visuals are, they're handled. You got to live action them, but you know what the characters are supposed to be dressed like and how they're supposed to move. So you can create this secondary revenue stream with this that exists alongside the anime and the manga now. A
Yeah.
thirdary? I don't know what to call it, but anyway.
Tertiary.
There we go. That word. And you can use that as like another way to make money on these things. And unfortunately, for some reason, we have over here in the West where we're just kind of like, oh no, that story is done. We're going to tell this new brand new thing that nobody has any attachment to and expect them to get attached to it.
But you know what's crazy? Some of the live action adaptations are better than the anime. And I think Sakamoto Days, based on what we're seeing so far, actually might be better looking than the anime is. Because the animation is not that great.
Well, some anime actually do play out better in a live action scenario than in animation. Like as you see, I believe he's Mr. Sakamoto is the robust gentleman.
Yeah, Taro Sakamoto.
Yeah. So Sakamoto is obviously like meant to be a character that has a lot of mystery around him.
Mm-hmm.
And in an anime, that comes off as a character being very quiet and reserved and standoffish and kind of shy looking. They have like a brooding stare every now and then. But in live action, the character being that sort of reserved kind of guy that doesn't do this kind of stuff all the time, that comes off as like a RoboCop style character. So I'm usually skeptical about live action stuff because the MCU's done this to me, but I can tell you, like you were saying, it looks better than the anime, and I truly believe it's because it is genuinely a better story in live action than it is in anime. It's sort of like how Kamen Rider W as an anime is a little more flat than the live action show, but it's not bad. It's just,
I think my only problem is, in terms of appearance wise, I think Sakamoto is a little too on the thinner side. I think the fat suit could just be a little bit bigger. Because let's be real, he's wearing a fat suit. But the only other the other thing that I worry about is Sakamoto Days does have comedy, and I worry that the comedy is going to be sucked out Oh my god, that considering that he does get thin, so the fat does get kind of sucked out. Oh my god.
Well, it probably will be a bit
Too
more,
serious.
yeah, a bit more anyway, but it's still a fat man doing all this crazy stuff, so it can't get that serious in the end. And of course, all of the reactions to him being able to do all of this stuff are right there. We see right here in the beginning of the trailer when he spin kicks our protagonist across several shelves, like right here.
Yeah, the live action does look awesome. I agree. And yeah, he does
Yeah.
need to move, but like, we've seen people in like fat suits, like bigger fat suits than that, being able to move just fine.
Again, I think it just has more. I think that's the reason why he's not that big is because it just looked too comical to see a guy that's like built like 90s John Goodman doing
But
all
I think
of this.
that's the point, though. That is the point.
And that's the barrier, right? That's the barrier. You think it's fine. I think it's fine that a guy built like John Goodman's doing all of this, but they might not feel that that's going to lend itself to the story that happens after the initial shock of the fat guy doing all of this. And that's what happens with it is a lot of overthinking happens. It's what the West ends up tripping over itself over is all these think tanks and different revisions and the directors and producers.
Well,
like what happened with Madam Web.
Well, like some people, like the West would be like looking at it like, oh my god, it's fat representation. I could do that too, like that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, that would be
make
bad.
them like the fat man. Yeah.
Sure. Oh no, there's another tsunami that hit Japan.
Another one?
What? Hold on, guys. That was 3 days ago. Yeah, this was just off the coast of just off the eastern coast rather, and it was I forget where it hit. Ioma? I think it hit in Ioma. It was like an island that it hit. It was off of one of the prefectures. I'm sorry, I can't find the name of it at the moment, and I really don't feel like digging through a mile-long article that's only going to name it at the very, very end. So, okay, not another one. Okay, I was like, oh my gosh, they just got hit the other day. Like, what is happening over there? What's China doing to trigger all of these? Yeah, I know. There was one last week, and I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's right. And I was thinking like, my gosh,
yeah, we don't need any more tragedies. There's too many as it is.
Yeah, and because like I follow the Japanese politicians that I have been in communication with. Communication. We're not buddies. We're not dating. We're not going to be friends. It's just exchanged words on Twitter. Okay, let's not get crazy. But I do follow them, and they were talking about providing aid and providing bodies to go and take care of these people that had been affected by the destruction brought on by that earthquake. So I've seen quite a bit of the imagery coming out of there. It's not as like apocalyptic as the 2011 one, but it's not great either. It's not great. There's a lot of structural damage, a lot of buildings they don't know if are going to be able to like stay standing. So again, not uncommon. It's not some super special thing, but it's another problem that, Takaichi has to deal with and these people have to deal with as well. There's still so many people after the Fukushima tsunami that are still living in temporary housing. So it's just, they have such compounding problems. And it just really irritated me that Kishida and then Mr. Japan were just completely offline about that stuff. That's the reason why I didn't know about it. It's because I've been paying attention to the national diet, and then I started watching interview channels. And a great deal of these people in Fukushima are still living in temporary housing. That's crazy. It's almost a decade ago that happened, and they're still living in temporary housing. Gosh,
it's crazy.
And again, like I don't know the internals. I don't speak Japanese, so I have to go with what the articles that translate to English can tell me. And it's not, so it's not like I have like some insider knowledge about why they're leaving these people like this. But I have to assume it's because these people don't want to resettle anywhere else, but I'm not sure they could resettle anywhere else because Japan's just so rapidly shrinking. Anywhere you go, nobody's going to be there.
Well, we talked about this last week, Cider. Remember, I've been talking about how some of the mangaka that I follow and talk to have been like popping out babies like no tomorrow. One of the mangaka that I keep in regular contact with, who is actually a baseball mangaka, said that that one of the reasons why the main reason why the serialization is inconsistent is because he and his wife are raising 3 kids, all under the age of 5, including a baby.
Right.
So it's like people are like panicking. I'm like, dude, like really? Like birthing crisis. I've been seeing nothing but like all the mangaka and Japanese voice actors I follow. They're talking about having babies. I'm seeing like news of them getting a different voice actor and a different mangaka getting married and popping out kids like almost every day or every other week. It's like crazy.
Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it.
There were the mangaka and the and like when I saw the stuff for the mangakas, Mia, the mangaka Bungo, they went viral for it, and they all the responses were like from I saw a lot from different parents saying that they were inspired, and they were totally understanding of it because they're a parent themselves, and they got new readers out of it too. They said they were going to jump onto Bongo just because they totally understand that how hard it is to raise kids. It's incredible that he's raising 3 kids all under the age of 5, including one that's under the age of 1, still a baby, with his wife, and doing trying to do a weekly serialization. That's
Jacob's in the chat though.
Hi, Jacob.
And he says, you guys should cover Wrestle Kingdom next year. You just have to get up at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard.
Or stay up till 1 a.m., at least 1 a.m. in my case.
Yeah, for her. So, but I don't know what Wrestle Kingdom is. I'll have to check it out. The welcome aboard, Timon. Happy to have you, member of the channel. He says, hey, bounding into comics, Cider, and Nerdigans. Howdy. Welcome aboard.
Right, Nerdy? I know. Right, Nerdy Texan? It's incredible. I mean...
As I said, somebody's got to do it.
I mean, like one of the... and I mentioned this last week as well, the mangaka of Tokyo Underworld that I did an interview with for Bounding, she said she didn't start her serialization, and the editors are great at Jump Plus. And in the case of Bungo would be Young Jump. She said that she's a rookie at the time. She said that she didn't start her serialization, and the editors were totally understanding until everything was she had everything settled with her husband and her kid. Like she wanted to make sure everything was set because she wanted to do a weekly serialization. She was going to make sure she could do it. That's an incredible thing to do. Like I got to give her major props. Like these mangaka are doing everything they can to, achieve their dream and raise a family. It's so, and I said that Spencer and I were talking about it, so different than it was like 20 years ago.
Right. And there's been a lot of pressure on people too to accomplish this save Japan thing. So it seems that the mangaka and voice actors are taking it pretty seriously, and being rewarded for it. That's even better.
Yeah, in the case of Mia, but like the mangaka of Hajime no Ippo, Morikawa said this too, is that, and you know this as well, Cider, is that that the Japanese are very private about their personal lives, and so Morikawa was really surprised that Mia was willing to open up about something like that. Like that's just something that they don't do.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But you know what else is crazy? We have Capcom on the rise, ladies and gentlemen. Good news, everybody. It looks like they're going to try and make Mega Man, Devil May Cry, and Ace Attorney into the core IP of the corporation. So
they announced this this past week. They're going to do new releases, remakes, and ports. Mega Man, we already know there's a new entry into the Mega Man series coming out. that's been announced. In the case we don't know anything. I know there's a new Devil May Cry that's definitely in the works. It's just I don't think it's just been announced yet. Ace Attorney I would like to see, especially in the West, is I'd like to see Ace Attorney like get released in the West with an a actual localization that's true to the original Japanese writing and not like the crap like the 4Kids-esque localization that we got here.
Yep. And like it says right here, they're attempting to.
I heard something from the I heard there was an interview a while ago that I saw on Automaton answering Spencer's question. I don't remember when it was. I saw it on Automaton and they were talking about a new like Devil May Cry property in the works or something.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, again, I mean, it's in the works. So there was obviously no definite plan, no name, no nothing, but probably just the statement of we're working on something. So kind of like how the Power Rangers reboot is totally happening, you guys. But nobody knows how, when, or why. You know, it's one of those things. They've also got that. And they're also tied up in licensing with Adi Shankar, and I highly doubt he's going to let another property come out to compete with him. He was pissed or something about having the game come out and usurp him or something. I forget. It was just so ridiculous. I tried to force it out of my brain. The guy's a real drama queen. All right, real diva.
Oh, okay. Okay, then I got that mixed up with that. Maybe that's why I got mixed up with it.
Said he was going to announce a new series, and he already announced it. Okay.
Maybe that's what I got mixed up with.
I could have swore that they were I could have swore they were going to do another one, but because because the revitalized interest, but I don't know. Again, it's not one of the things that's right on the board, and Spencer's the guy that really cares about the DMC stuff out of the three of us, so I trust him on what he knows about it.
I should say cares the most. I care about it, but I'd say Spencer cares the most about it.
Sure. So I trust his judgment on what's going on here because he's definitely more plugged in.
But yeah, speaking of Adi's season 2 of Devil May Cry is coming, not in the distant future, which is.
And so Jacob clarified though about what's going on with Wrestle Kingdom. And Wrestle Kingdom is the New Japan Pro Wrestling's biggest show of the year at the Tokyo Dome. Oh, it sounds so weird. It's weird when like American things find their way into another country like that, like the Tokyo Dome, you know? Blackfield Timon says Mega Man X was more fun. Kid Mega Man was too chibi. Yeah, I suppose it's for like the speed you're going for with Mega Man. So ordinarily outside of the X universe, the story of Mega Man isn't terribly dark. It's not too terribly awful. I mean, of course, Proto Man's story is pretty bad. Dr. Wily trying to enslave all the robots, take over the world, that kind of thing, obviously bad. But it's not to the gravity of, Sigma destroying the Earth and trying to enslave the remainder of the Reploid. No, not the Reploids. Boy, I don't know what they're called anymore. Oh, I'm going to get in so much trouble for this. The Mavericks, anyway, try to enslave the living Mavericks. And that's a really dark story by comparison, where Mega Man's just kind of like beating up Dr. Wily's brainwashed robots and taking their powers. So Mega Man X is definitely, punching well above the chibi Mega Man's weight limit. That's for sure. Sakura Mita has a question for you, Nerdigans. Sakura asks, Nerdigans, you can share anything I post on the Discord.
Let me check my Discord and see if there's anything on there.
Season 2 of DMC. Okay. Oh boy. Here we go.
Here we go.
Well, you're looking at that. We do have a super chat. Nerdy Tech's an accountant, member of the channel, for $4.99. That's right, $4.99. We have a thingamajig for that around here.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! You're doing it good, buddy. Great job.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, He says, with 4Kids, a
Oh.
lot of the censorship on their end was because of the FCC demanding it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pointing fingers. So modern censorship has no excuse. To be honest with you, outside of this sort of stuff, there is sort of the COPPA rule and things like that that I do believe apply to streaming services because Twitch has to obey a lot of that stuff. Otherwise, they'd just be streaming softcore naughty time to you. But honestly, the 4Kids situation is just starting to like come back around again. This incredibly forced and ugly censorship that continues to plague anime in the modern and past eras. So thank you very much for your super chat, though. Appreciate it.
By the way, Sakura, I said yes, I can. I can if you need me to. But in regards to that, there's also like the matter of time slots and all that. So there is still Japanese regulations, but at the same time, I'm just like, we'll get to it with One Punch Man because there's like this weird double standard going on with the One Punch Man censorship, and also it was animated in China.
Before we jump off that though, off of Capcom for real quick though, I just wanna bring up this that to my knowledge there isn't a Phoenix Wright anime, right?
I think there is. I thought there was.
Hold on. And I'll just check it. Is there one? Oh, apparently there is. My bad.
Yeah,
There's
I
Ace
knew there
Attorney.
was.
That was back in 2016. That's why I don't remember it. It was
Yeah.
a decade ago. So we need Ace Attorney, Lupin the Third, Conan, Detective Conan, and Kamen Rider W to get a whole couple of movie series going together, like 4 movies. Be great. That way everybody gets to take a tour of everybody's world. That would be project. Everybody gets to come through. That would be one hell of a
That would be
crossover.
one hell of a situation.
Yeah, right? That's amazing. Yeah, Phoenix Wright got an anime back in 16. Yeah, well, again, that's why I forgot it. Yeah, it's not active. Yeah, it apparently concluded or ran out of steam or something. So maybe they'll bring that back.
That'd
I
be
hope so.
interesting.
It would be
And
a good time
hopefully-
because
Well, hopefully it's not Adi Shankar that's bringing him back.
no, this would be strictly Japanese. I wouldn't want an American company to have anything to do with that. I would want the Japanese Madhouse to step through and take care of this because Phoenix Wright is a very unique character. Not so much in that no one's ever done it before, but the popularity due to his catchphrase and, you know, the general spectacle of the courtroom video game, you know, the clown lady with the big boobs. That was really awkward. That was really weird. But anyway, that anime, the anime of that would be very important these days, not so much in like groundbreaking important, but it would be important in the marketplace because there's so many people interested in true crime.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that if you tilted Phoenix into a little bit more of a, not so much you take out the humor, but the presentation is closer to how Big O was delivered, that the comedy is sort of like a quick stab of comedy. And then you're back into like the crime drama of trying to solve the mystery while also being the attorney. So we need a giant robot. But I think it would be very, very cool to see a not necessarily darker Phoenix Wright, but a Phoenix Wright that is more engaged with the true crime part of it. Of course, it's not true
Kind
crime.
of
It's
like I
fiction.
can't help but think of Harvey Birdman, attorney at law.
Probably a little less comedic on that one. But it would be funny. Like they had the Chibi Godzilla cartoon where they're all doing crazy things. A Chibi Phoenix Wright cartoon would be hilarious. Just
Oh
them
my
going around
God.
screwing up the law, not just having a horrible time trying to prove their cases. Like it would be hilarious to see Phoenix doing the objection, but he's too short underneath the table. So he's like standing behind the bench here and he says, objection, but all that comes out is just his wrist and his hand. Objection.
And have that crossover with Chibi Godzilla.
Sure, why not? Like he has to represent Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla in court against the Japanese government for all the property destruction. My clients are
That'd be
heroes.
awesome.
You know, that would be great. Objection. My clients are heroes.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
The Japanese military didn't stand a chance against that giant sludge monster. But speaking of also good news, we have Kadokawa focusing on its gaming business and seriously recruiting new staff. They're mass hiring for game adaptations of the company's manga and anime. Now, Kadokawa, this part of Kadokawa is not owned by Sony, right? Or is it?
I have no idea. It might be.
So it feels very Sony-esque to be like, we need to turn these into video games. So,
It does.
but it could just be Kadokawa waking up that video games are more popular than any other media. So I don't know. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Like, what is Kadokawa's biggest property?
Well, that means we're going to probably get like ReZero video games.
A Dungeon Meshi would be great.
Dungeon Meshi, like on the Switch, would be so
Cooking
much
Mama
fun.
Dungeon Meshi.
Dude, imagine it being. I could see it being like a turn-based RPG game.
Yeah, Spencer's on it. Dungeon Meshi, yeah, exactly. A turn-based
RPG.
The RPG, and then like your secondary one is like your rhythm matching game in order to cut up the monster and serve it.
Oh, a single-player narrative-driven Cooking Mama? That would be awesome. Oh, I could so see that for Dungeon Meshi.
Yep. I like the idea. I really like that idea. That's a lot of fun. Dungeon Meshi is another one that they have.
They should totally do that. I could see like Mushoku Tensei. I could see getting a game. That would be really interesting to see them do it. I would love to see it. ReZero, if they are smart, they would make ReZero into a game because ReZero is one of their biggest properties.
My Happy Marriage would be a funny one.
My Happy Marriage would be very interesting. ReZero, I could see them turning into a dating sim.
Yeah.
That would be an amazing dating sim.
One of those ones like Doki Doki Literature Club though, where everything just keeps going crazier and crazier.
Oh my god. Yeah, I could totally see that. A fantasy Doki Doki Club.
They had here we go.
And it says here too, they could hire without experience as well.
So these are the top 10 as of 2024 most
Bungo
popular.
Stray Dogs. Bungo Stray Dogs would be a good game. That would be a fun RPG.
But
and a dating sim too for that. Oh my god, that would be a dating sim game. I could so see it. Oh my god.
But Grandpa and Grandma Turn Young Again would be an interesting like life simulator game.
Yeah.
So it's a good setup. It's a good premise for a life simulator that you've got your youth back, you know? So I've never heard of the Eminence Shadow though.
I've heard of Eminence of Shadow. That one will be that could be an interesting one, but like Oshinoko, you could do so much with that. You could do like a karaoke game with it. You could do like a DVR game with it. You could do like
I am interested in the Eminence and Shadow.
Yes.
I'm very interested. I'm very interested in this video game. I don't know what it'll be about, but I'm very interested.
Oshinoko, you could do like a mystery game with it. You could do so much with Oshinoko. There's a lot of possibilities. Same with Bungo Stray Dogs. You could do dating sim. You could do mystery game. You could do RPG, action RPG. You could do so much with it.
Well, you've got this is Unnamed Memory. It's a shoujo story. But, but it's set in RPG times. So you just set up a JRPG.
It'd be an Otome RPG, probably.
Yeah, and you could probably marry a JRPG with a dating simulator. So you have
there's
like,
a lot of the series that Kadokawa owns are Otome isekais. So they're just ready.
Oh, okay. So Eminence in Shadow is the actual generic isekai setup. Protagonist gets hit by a truck-kun rather, and wakes up in a new world. And an ew world.
It's supposed to be a new world.
I know, but it would be funny if it's an ew world. Like, ew, gross. But so that again, like, you know, pretty easy to get in on a video game because isekai works in anime just as easy as it works in video games. So it's a pretty easy premise to begin with. So
yeah, a lot. As I said, a lot of the Kadokawa owned properties make really good are actually like isekai Otome games. So it's like that's right there. It's right there. Oh yeah, and Konosuba is one too. Like I think Konosuba has a video game if I remember correctly,
I
but I
don't
could be
think.
wrong.
Yeah, and that
Sword
So I
Art
don't.
Online I know has one, but
For the
yeah, Sword
next
Art Online has a few.
for the next story, I don't know if we're good to show the whole image here, so I'm just gonna leave it where it's at, and we're gonna hope that it doesn't drift into a place where YouTube doesn't like us showing this stuff. So don't worry, it's not porn. It instead is PETA screwing up. So
PETA got cooked big time, and it was beautiful.
they thought it would be a good idea to try and alert people to the reality that horse racing is horse racing. And of course, the animals are used for entertainment, and that goes sideways sometimes, and a horse ends up getting hurt. Such was the case with Silence Suzuka. Okay, in real life, this horse was injured, and injured so severely that recovery was not possible for this horse. Now, you see some horses going around with a prosthetic. However, the fracture that Silent Suzuka suffered was going to require immense amount of surgeries, and this horse would never recover from them. The rest of this horse's life was going to be absolutely terrible. So the case that PETA is making is that the fate of this real world horse was undue due to its placement in horse racing, which PETA is against. Okay. However, their way of doing that was going after one of the best girls in Umamasume Pretty Derby. And this is again Silent Suzuka, and she is supposed to be in recovery. She suffered the same injury that her counterpart did, but in this realm, she's a human, so she has the opportunity to heal and return. Very different. Okay. Now, as you can see here, the text reads, in real life, the horse Silent Suzuka suffered a catastrophic injury in a race and was euthanized. Okay. Now, I don't know if I can show you guys what's on here, so I'm just going to jump Nerdigans and I in here real quick while I scroll down to the community note.
Yeah, the community notes was so brutal.
So here it is. Unfortunately, it's in Japanese, so I'm just going to translate
can you get to
that.
the translate? Can you get into the actual notes?
Yep, there it is.
Okay,
no problem.
there you go.
Silent Suzuka's injury is a comminuted fracture. Comminuted, I don't know. Anyway, it's a bad fracture of the carpal bone on her left front leg and not an open fracture on her left hind leg as shown in the image. The carpal bones on the 8 small bones are on the wrist. Full recovery will take time, and there are concerns about the after effects and permanent disability. But as a human, Umamasume, it doesn't necessarily mean that she can't return. So again, they're just trying to explain that this is a very real situation. Now, what actually went on here is that, well, it's over now. So as you can see, they depicted this in a very ugly way. Well, this is actually number one.
Oh, I guess I didn't show the other thing too in the community notes. I will share it with you in a second, because there's something else. There's more to this, because I thought you had community notes, the full community notes access. So this is why I'm saying that.
Maybe I don't.
No, you do not.
Yes, I know.
Oh, whoops. Here it is. Here, let me share this.
But like I was explaining, what happened is that this is against how we've got something to show. All right. Hold on, guys.
This is what I'm talking about.
I can't read that.
Oh, you can't? Do I need to make it bigger?
Tiny. Yeah.
Oh. Is that better or a little more?
Yeah, there we go. I'm sorry, I'm an old man, I guess. But anyway, this post violates multiple points of Umamasume's content guidelines, like I was just about to say here, including, but not limited to, being used as advocate of a political view and used for profit from monetization through forming engagement. I believe also on the other side,
there's more too, yeah.
I believe also that the other side of this is that Cygames has a prohibited rule about this. It says right here, Cygames guidelines strictly prohibit violent or grotesque depictions of Umamasume characters to respect the real horses. Using the IP for political advocacy or commercial gain is a direct violation of derivative work guidelines. Sorry. So anyway,
Yeah,
there's more.
yeah, I
Okay.
think that's the same thing. Oh yeah, here it is. It says the post violates guidelines number 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7 as linked below, and trivializing the silence of Silent Suzuka for their own gain. And this is where please report it. That's what fans have been doing. They have been reporting it, reporting PETA for this. So PETA could get in deep trouble for what they're doing. So yeah, that is not looking good for them at all. I don't know. We don't know if this is going to be their demise. That would be funny if this is their demise. I will laugh my ass off if that is their demise.
They get a lot of money. I don't think it'll be their demise, but they'll definitely rethink using any anime characters in the future. Because again, Japan has a vastly different attitude about this stuff than the West does. And thankfully they've finally caught on to how like demented a lot of this stuff can get sometimes. So but regardless though, that's what's going on with PETA and Umumusume Pretty Derby. Now, what's important to be reminded about this stuff is that the corporation itself has not taken any action. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Also, the Japanese Horse Racing Association has rules against exploiting the horses, by the way, for political gain as well. That was the other thing. So multiple layers of you can't use this to promote yourself or any political thing or any commercial thing unless you have express permission for the commercial part, but the political part is strictly not allowed. So while PETA is in and the Yakuza will actually, yeah, it's true. They have a lot of money in horse racing, so you really don't want to screw with that. But PETA's an American company. They are most likely outside of the jurisdiction of the Japanese corporations, but not the government. So we'll have to wait and find out if the government decides to reach out and touch PETA about this. Which they could, because again, Umusume Pretty Derby is very, very popular worldwide. And so destroying that image in a time when Japan's trying to globalize is probably very much a bad idea. So,
yeah.
Either way, we do have good news though, as maybe not on purpose, but Spencer brought up the Yakuza. Everything has become shallower. Tokyo Godfathers Lane executive producer Taro Maki says the Japanese corporate mindset is why 90% of anime just adapts existing works.
Oh, the screen's not sharing, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. It didn't pop up. My bad. Ta-da! There it is. So anyway, that's what I was just talking about. And if you don't remember, Tokyo Godfathers was probably one of the most beautiful stories. I would say probably the early 2000s when that came out. Was that when it came out? Probably one of the most, again, like in the time when Japan was sort of in this post economic collapse, the 90s, the miracle had ended. So the attitude about going forward and living in these cities was very, a lot of people were questioning it at that time. Well, much like they did in the 80s when it was like when the miracle was at its maximum and Japan was feeling the slip of like falling into corporatism as opposed to retaining the cultural rigidity of tradition. And Tokyo Godfathers sort of steps further into that conversation as the post-miracle atmosphere in Japan was really analyzing what they had committed themselves to and really what the reality they had found themselves in the post-miracle cities, if you will. And so it's really important that Taro Maki came out and said this, because we were just talking about this at the top of the show that, this is the dark ages of anime. And JC staff are about to talk about it, just chucking out episodes. They don't really care. And you have so many anime, as Taro Maki mentioned here, that are just simply adaptions of existing manga. That the studios themselves are not, I guess, really pushing to put out a lot of original work. I'm sure there's a ton of them coming out. There's just not as much as there used to be, perhaps. And that's what Taro's trying to talk about.
Yeah, it's not just manga. It's light novels and games and digital series as well. It's because and there's also the live action adaptations too of existing properties that needs to be taken into account too. It's just because they're trying to be really safe, and it's unfortunate.
RJ McReady says Japan having problems with entertainment screwing up means they sadly are like us. Now, you're right in one function in that the corporate environments aren't obviously completely different beasts, but they're still working on a more, we need to preserve the artistic purpose of this stuff as opposed to trying to inject agenda into them.
Yeah.
Of course, there could be agenda in them. I'm just an American and I don't, as much as I study Japan, I don't pick up on a lot of like the current politics that end up stuffed into some of the anime that comes out. So I pick up on some of it, but not all of it, obviously, because I'm not on the ground in Japan. But corporations are very much like this in that the path of least resistance is going to choose adaptation over the risk of a new property not landing. It's a lot of money and time to invest in something that has no proof that it's going to work out in the marketplace other than that thing that's like it and that thing that's like it worked. Whereas they can look at something like Dungeon Meshi, which largely went kind of uncelebrated for, I think, close to a decade or more.
Yeah.
And just find that in a random used manga shop and decide, wow, okay, we'll make an anime out of this. So it's one of those things where they want to prove that there's a market to receive this stuff before they start making it. Whereas Hollywood was just like, oh, this is something we can make money off of. And they just started scooping up names. They weren't interested in the stories behind those names. They wanted the name recognition. It's very different. But it is important to recognize that Japan is doing the same thing that the American corporations did, and they're leaning into what is known as opposed to what is not. Alpha Omega says, anime does have a lot of Japanese politics in them, especially jokes. Right, and you pick up on them every now and then. But like the one that was most blatant to me was Kamen Rider Black Sun. That's not an anime, but where the leader was like some caricature or villain version of Shinzo Abe's father. He's almost a dead ringer for the guy, by the way. It was almost identical to Minato Abe. And I was like, wow. And then he's like, yeah, we're going to turn the gays into the food for the monsters. They're not good for anything else. And I was like, jeez. Jeez. What, say it like you mean it, pal. Gosh. And that was like the most like boom head on I'd ever seen like the political pandering in my life. But again, I'm not invested in a lot of the Japanese anime that are sort of like I don't do slice of life too much. I like the sensation of the fantastical side of anime. The only slice of life stuff I like is when it's set in that cyberpunk setting where Japan is sort of struggling with its identity during the miracle and the rapid expansion of corporatization. So I like that stuff because I feel like it has a lot of presence here in America right now. As I've always said about this, I believe Japan is ahead of us in this corporatization hell thing that has fallen upon the world. And so they're a very good marker of what's happening here in the US. Like they have the hikikomori. We have a lot of men who aren't going outside anymore. We don't have a funny name for them yet, but we have a lot of shut-in men, if you will, that aren't going anywhere, much like how Japan has the hikikomori who have locked themselves away. So that's just one example. Gintama is littered with political satire. I've heard that. Again, I wouldn't know. I'm not on the
Gintama
ground,
is. So. Gintama, like, I like to call Gintama like the South Park of anime.
But that's just one of those things, you know. And
well, the difference between, I would say, Japan and the US is Japan, like, in terms of entertainment, it's still entertaining. Like, it's not like trying to shove down a message down your throat. It's not preachy, at least as far as I can tell.
Well, and that's just, you know, there's a discussion in chat going on about how severe this infection is in Japan. And I just want to reiterate that Japan is I wouldn't say going back, but they're going through a transformation where the prioritization is being put on the traditions of Japan again. As opposed to, again, in the face of globalization, it's another mind-boggling thing how they're going to pull this off. But there's a bigger emphasis, at least what's being talked about in politics and things like that on that level. A revitalization of I wouldn't say imperial Japanese identity, but a more proud and individualist Japanese identity. And again, I am purely talking as an American that just reads this stuff through translated articles. I'm not there. I don't have anybody to talk to that can tell me one-to-one what's happening. So again, this is just my affirmation of whatever that is. You know, it's what I've observed, you know. That's just what I've got, you know. Do you think Kamen Rider's show had politics? Oh, absolutely. Kamen Rider Gab was about drug dealers and sex trafficking. Like, that's so obvious throughout that whole show that it's completely about the abuse of humanity from every angle. They just couched it in candy.
But that's the
So
thing
that's why
that's
it looks
great
cute,
is,
you know?
that's the thing that's great about Japanese entertainment. And American entertainment used to be like this too, is that they're very creative in
I'm still
like,
here.
it's all good. They're creative about incorporating these serious topics into the show without being so in your face. It's just not shoehorning in, like, and
Right.
being obvious.
There were so many jokes about the Nazis in the original 3 Kamen Rider series. I want to say the first 3. I think Kamen Rider Super was the one that kind of broke. Oh, I could be wrong. Super might have been where Starfish Hitler came from. It was for a long time that the Nazis were pretty like synonymous with Shocker and synonymous with the villains that were part of the central focus in the Kamen Rider series. Swastikas flew around everywhere for a long time. But again, I mean, that must have been very confusing for like your average Japanese person that really didn't get in on the whole, like what the Germans were up to. So you're just seeing a bunch of villains running around with the Buddhist temple symbol on them. So it's like, wait a minute, what's wrong with these guys? They're Buddhists. What are they talking about Germany for? They Buddhists in Germany? That must have been hilarious, by the way. Just being the guy who was completely out of the loop on what the Nazi symbolism was. Just being that guy. And just being, that must have been hilarious.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, like that, you know, it's one of those things, you know. It's just funny in my mind to imagine that there's just some random like Saitama, you know, like One Punch Man Saitama. This is random guy who's just completely unplugged from everything. And start seeing all these Nazi guys running around in tokusatsu and anime. Like, wait a minute, where are all these evil Buddhists coming from? You know, where are they coming from?
Oh god, speaking of, we should get into the torture. I mean, the One Punch Man of it all. And get into the poor kids of everything here. I spent like 3 hours, I think it was like 2 or 3 hours when I recorded my live reaction for One Punch Man yesterday, and it was torture. I somehow survived it. So you're gonna see you're gonna see some of it here. It doesn't have the full thing here, but
let's see if you can survive it.
Oh, let's see. Hopefully it has everything here. So this is from, see, it's not the very beginning, but see there, where's the blood? Where's the blood?
Yep.
That scene was actually cut. I don't know why they didn't include that, but yeah, the gun scene when Zombie Man was locking and loading, that was actually cut.
Oh, they took out the bat head. See the little bat head over here? They took that out.
The splitting headache is not there.
Huh.
Notice that. Look at the outfit. They changed a couture outfit to a generic Spirit of Halloween outfit.
Yeah, it looks like Alucard.
Yeah,
like Alucard's showing up to fight Zombie Man.
Hold on a second. That's an insult to Alucard. That is a generic Spirit of Halloween vampire costume. They changed a couture outfit into a Spirit of Halloween vampire costume. That though, like, come on. Notice what's missing on the sides of the jacket. Yeah, there's some buckles missing there. See, look at that. Look what they did to this man's outfit.
Yeah, okay, so he's got that. His collar's like Piedmon from Digimon. He's got that wraparound French collar thing.
It's a black French collar, and they changed it to a generic.
I think it's French.
Well, they changed it to a generic Spirit of Halloween vampire costume. And here's the thing:
this is a bib.
That sucks. Here's the thing.
He's got like 3 bibs on.
And this is like, I know that they're trying to like take they're trying to find a way to. No, here's the thing though. It's like you could have like find you could have all they had to do was like use the black collar to hide their mistakes and the hair to hide the mistakes if they wanted to like find I know it's so bad. The black eyeliner's not there. The black lipstick ain't there. Like this is the right side is Couture. The left side is Spirit Halloween. Maybe that's an insult to Spirit Halloween, and I should just say it's Walmart at this rate.
So just imagine like Beavis's cackle coming out of him, you know?
Like I saw this yesterday.
It just looks like he's laughing like an idiot. It's like the ugliest laugh is coming out of him in that image from the anime. It's so bad.
God. Like I looked when I saw this yesterday, I was
Yes,
like I was crying inside. I was just like, what did you do to this man's jacket? What'd you do? You ruined it. You ruined the Couture ensemble and made it into Walmart. Like, why? They could have they want to cut corners, could have just used the hair and hit all that fucking mistake in the ruffles and the hair.
It looks like he's astro projecting witnessing a gunfight.
Oh my god,
like it doesn't
so bad.
He doesn't appear to be present in the same like reality. Like he seems to be like outside of it, looking in on Zombie Man having a gunfight. Very bizarre.
Oh my god.
Apparently
it's gonna get worse.
There we go. Yep.
Where's the blood? Where's the blood?
I'm sure our Dracula character is asking the same question.
Where's the hair?
Oh yeah, it just kind of stops.
Vampire does not have hair.
And it is kind of weird. It's like he's nibbling on him. Well.
Where's the blood? Oh my god, I hated this so much. I was like, you want to cut corners, you could have just had his hair fill the whole screen, full frame, and had the black collar take up like the rest of the frame. That's all you need to do.
So he's not a floating head, yeah.
Yeah, you could have just had the hair and the collar take up the frame.
Unfortunately, the way that lighting is done with this, it makes it look like he has like a ridiculously huge neck.
Yeah,
like he's got a Baki neck, you know?
It was so weird. I'm like, what did you do? All you had to do was just like cover the whole frame with the hair and the black collar, and then it would have been fine. Oh god, this looks. Oh god. At least they attempted shading, I guess.
Very
bizarre. It looks so bad. What the hell is this blue light? Like, what is this?
This is a spirit gun.
Laser. That's a spirit gun.
That's Yusuke Urameshi right there, lady. He's using the spirit shotgun.
No irises, no pupils. Yeah, right. Well, he is a zombie man, so. Well, at least there's some blood, I guess.
I mean, they have to at that point. I mean, like, there's like a butthole in his face. You gotta,
there's
you gotta give him that.
Nothing on the jacket, though. Look at that. There's nothing on the jacket, on the chest.
Oh, yeah. They took out the bullet hole in the chest. Well, it's covered if it is, but it's definitely not present as it is in the manga.
Yeah. Where's the gut? Well, they hid the guts because of this lighting. But, like, there's, like, almost no blood on the jacket. Like, where is it? Where's the blood? I hate this filter. I hate it so much. Why this color? Like, the red, I don't mind that much, but that green, oh my god, that green is so hideous.
Is this a response to Dan Dan Dan?
I have no idea, but it is horrible. The
contrast feels like it's trying to do Dan Dan, but the color is just wrong.
It is horrible. You see what I mean by an assault on the eyes? This is actually not that bad. I kind of like that reverse negative contrast. It's kind of cool. But like,
I mean that's pretty smart, especially where he broke his own neck.
Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. Like, but it's weird, but it's cool. This, no.
I don't know. Every now and then when I look at it too quick, it's like another form of Myotismon. You know, in the anime, I look at it too quick and I'm like, that's not Myotismon. That's not Myotismon. But if you told me that this was like a Digimon character, this is Myotismon Black, I'd be like, yep, that's Myotismon Black. I believe you.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, this was his Sentry moment where he ripped the dude in half.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say it's too bad, you know?
It could be worse.
Yeah, that's especially with their track record. Absolutely. Why is it so
the
dark?
lack of contrast. Yeah, why is it so dark? And to
Like,
be
you
fair,
just-
One Punch Man isn't the only one that's having a problem with the lack of contrast. We've seen that in My Hero Academia. We've seen that in Gacha Yakuta as well, and it's very annoying.
Oh, it's Batsman.
It's
He
Batsman.
shoots bats.
Oh my god. Where's the blood?
I think that's they're only going to give you is like on the face, so it can qualify as like a face tattoo if somebody's looking at it too quick.
Where's the rips in the clothes too? You can barely see it. Where's the blood on the axe? And where's the rest
he
of the
cleaned
body?
that. He cleaned the axe. Well, you know, they have a bad habit of this. What they like to do is flatten the scene, and that's what this is they didn't even give it a background. Not that the manga has one either, but they didn't, you know, they made the axe clean because it's quicker to draw. You don't have to go in and do all the blood splatter and the shading on the blood splatter. You just, whoop, it's done. So, you know, he washed his axe, you know, as one does. Wash your axe. It's not a euphemism for anything else.
At least there's blood.
I can't really argue with this. This looks okay. You know, again, for JC staff, this is probably above and beyond, you know?
Well, / Chinese studio that they outsource to.
Oh, okay.
This is a Halloween mask.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as visceral. It just sort of feels like I can't even. Yeah, I get that the character is dying or you know on his way out.
That looks like a cheap Halloween mask that you get at like Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah, again, if the character had just pulled off his face and thrown it to the ground, I would believe you if you told me that it was just the face, not the person dying. Whereas on the manga side, this character's in royal terrible pain. This is an actual character in agony. So
God, Zeno, stop being a pain. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. My cat is being a pain in the butt.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll catch up with the chat while Nerdigans is dealing with her pain in the butt cat. What do you guys think about all this, huh? This, yeah, the Batsman. Yep, the Batsman. He shoots bats. He's the Batsman. Yeah, Super's man. He shoots supers. Yep. Yep, Green's Lantern. That's right. Al Green's Lantern. The mouth and the nose look wrong. Yeah, it's another situation where they're drawing this stuff so fast that they're really not interested in being accurate. Like we talked about this last time with the samurai character.
Yeah, Atomic Samurai.
Atomic Samurai. He had like 8 different faces in 10 minutes of footage. It was crazy. It was like 10 different guys. Really.
Well, look at that. Look, it's like, dude, there's barely any. Well, there's not as much blood here as before.
No.
But yeah. But that axe looks so bad. But where's the ribs? At least there's some chunk of his head gone.
Well, again, they're trying to play it safe, I think, because of the way the American standards are.
Again, at least there's some chunk of his head is gone.
Yeah.
You can't see the teeth though. At least part of his nose is gone, but you can't see it.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like this soft censorship thing. So
there it
is. Here we
go.
There it is. The crime of the century, ladies and gentlemen. This wasn't for kids. This was not an American censor. This was homegrown Japanese studio, JC staff.
Technically China.
Well, again, under JC staff supervision.
Yeah. There you go.
Decided that they were not going to have a smoking zombie man. Instead, after all of that gore and terrible and awful pain and destruction and having his face like sliced off, smashed in, however it happened, he pulls out a lollipop. Really? Really?
I mean, we saw in previous episodes he didn't even have a cigarette in his hand.
It's terrible.
Like,
I'm not really
like what the hell, man? Like it's so weird. And yes, Pig God is on Ozempic still, and you can't even see his butt crack here either. Not that I don't think you want to, but still.
But it's the point of the character, though. He's a disgusting fat creature.
Yeah.
He's like the Blob, but even more assaulting to your eyes.
Yeah, and that monster scaling is awful. Now we're at Atomic Samurai's Disciples. These colors, oh my god, this is an assault on the eyes. The
Yeah,
pink
this
I
is
can understand.
Dan.
I can understand the pink because of that DOS is them under her spell, but that green, oh my god, that green
So-
is hideous.
As a note, like I'm not an artist, so I'm not trying to say anything about the artist here, but just from a production standpoint, the guy in the foreground should have the detail, not the person that's 3 people deep. That person, not important. Okay. The guy that's closest to the camera matters. If you want us to pay attention to that person that's 3 people deep, you need to make sure that you have a spotlight sort of effect and that you kind of zoom in on that face or character to isolate them. If you want us to focus on them, not leave everybody else looking like a cheap bootleg action figure you find at the pharmacy, you know?
And we'll see. I sent Cider another link, so you'll see this in motion too. But like this, I will say this about DDoS. Or I said DOS. Go back for a second here. I want to point this out to the first panel. This animation was very bizarre because her boobs are extremely inconsistent. Well, obviously there's no holes in the gloves and shit like that. But if you look at the sternum specifically, you could tell that her boobs are way too small because you should not be seeing barely any fabric. And also the heart is not squished enough either. So yeah, those boobs are way too small. And also underneath the under boob, like right at the waist, there should be skin showing. So that's how you know that there is some censorship afoot. Either that or it's just not done very well. She was not drawn very well. So
sure.
One of the two.
So we'll jump over to that animated version now, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, we could jump over to that anime version because you'll see. I think the fight is in motion. Yeah, see, her boobs are not pushed up, and look at that.
For women, am I right, fellas?
Well, if you go to the very beginning, you'll see the motion with Zombie Man too. But like, yeah. But look at that. Oh. Look at that movement. Oh my god, that movement.
It's like they're bouncing the PNG up and down.
Yeah.
I think they are.
Oh, that red. Like, okay, I'm gonna say this. The blue for on my mask / sweet mask, I don't have a problem with this blue, but with that red though, oh my god, that red is just an eyesore. It is so bad. I hate that red. And also the cross is missing, if you didn't notice.
That's an interesting twist. But again, like that's a pain in the ass to animate. So that's probably why they didn't include it, because this character's not supposed to, have center stage right now. So.
Yeah. But you see what I mean about the boobs being very inconsistent? Look at the sternum.
Yeah. She lost a cup size. Or 2.
Yeah. Look at that movement though, that movement. Ass.
That's I mean, they're equally disgusting to look at, but like the anime is obviously half-assing itself, so
yeah. Like, oh my god. I will say this though, at least the outfits are in the same universe compared to Vampire.
Yeah. Yep. That's
it's bad, but it's not as bad as it was on Vampire. Oh my god, that was so bad.
The colors just seem so lifeless now.
That's because there's not enough shading on there too.
Oh, okay.
That pink is actually appropriate. I will give them a pass on.
Yeah, this looks fine. I mean, this probably the best shot I've seen of the entire production, so this entire episode so far.
What the fuck is this?
Cheap. That's what it is. They have a PNG and they turn the arm into stuff. And again, like the manga's not trying to show you like the not trying to show you the hand movement either, but
like it looks like it's moving.
Well, the PNG is just it's like you remember when Wolverine gets pitched by the Hulk? That's what this looks like. You see how he's moving through the air? See if I can back it up far enough. Hold on. But look, it's like when Colossus pitches Wolverine. It's just, it's just
Speaking of Atomic Samurai.
Yeah. Oh, the architecture is completely different in here now.
Mm-hmm.
Less angles to draw. Admittedly, that's why they did that. It's less angles to draw.
Mm-hmm.
Just do straight lines for the. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, that's it on that one. I think the other one has the rest of the episode, if I remember correctly. I might have to go back to the other one for the rest of it.
It does have some different shots, so we'll take a look at that.
Yep. Notice there's an ass missing over here and tits missing over here.
Yeah, they made sure to hide that stuff.
For some reason, tits are fine, but ass is not.
I just don't think they have a choice. If they could not show both, they probably would. And I think it's because of that Erika Yoshida woman. Alpha Omega was mentioning her a little earlier. I think that's her name. She's that feminist lady that just can't, stop. She can't stop.
Hi, kitty.
So we saw this scene. But again, like, look at how huge she is here. And then later on, we're going to see her being not so big anymore.
See? Ass has got no ass. Can't show ass. Ass is bad, apparently.
Well, they changed it so that way it's not so sexual.
I agree. That's why I was confused, Spencer, too, because she has nothing to do with this anime. Nah. I think it's more so it's the Chinese studio that's animating this, and like Spencer was saying, that may have to do with the globalization and trying to appeal to American audiences.
Right, because China banned porn.
Yeah.
So, and she's pretty porny. That's a good point. No, I just hear Erika Yoshida's name coming up a lot because she started a wave of people. Erika Ishii, right? And well, again, like that's started a wave of conversation about how these characters should be represented, and that's why it keeps coming up. That's why that came to mind. But you're probably right that the Chinese play a bigger role in this because they have banned pornography since the 1950s. I think that's when they did it. It could have been the 60s. It was very, very long ago when they did it. So,
but look at that. Like,
they put the whip down in order to avoid having to draw the whip. Wow. Okay. This is like pretty interesting.
Look at that color. Look at that. Oh my god, I hate this color.
Again, I look at this and
again, the blue is not the problem. It's that red. It's that red that's horrible with this.
It feels very Dan to Dan. But I guess it's because I'm so used to Dan to Dan using this style of color contrast that I see it in this so heavily. But I just can't help but feel that JC staff saw like how dynamic mixing those colors looked and did that. It's not like this is new, making a character in the foreground blue and the background red. That's not new or anything. Dan to Dan didn't never like break that up. It just seems to be more these neon lighting color choices appear to be more present in Dan to Dan than some other previous works. And that has really influenced a lot of the anime that's coming out right now, in my opinion.
It's so dark. Like you can barely.
But then that is the point. That's the point, is you're not supposed to. They can't show you the gore. I don't know if China has laws limiting body mutilation or not. I don't know, but I would imagine that, I mean, in the US, we have limitations on that kind of stuff, but One Punch Man isn't meant for kids. So
it's not someone pointed out that One Punch Man's time slot might have a role to play in it too.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not in a late night time slot. But look at that. No ass. That red is hideous. I hate it so fucking much. That red is
very overpowering.
It's way too overpowering.
Especially with the yellow mingled in there. It just...
Oh, God. It just looks so bad.
The warm colors are swallowing everything. Well, her expression is definitely different. She seems a lot less surprised. And there's no zipper on the panty either. Oh. How does she tinkle? Can you imagine trying to take off all those belts and straps just to,
Yeah.
I don't know what ladies call drain the lizard, but Oh, so the facial scarring is missing.
Yep.
That's very peculiar. Of all the things on the villainess, you make sure that she doesn't look too scarred. Huh. Bizarre.
I like that blue. That blue is appropriate. But
drowning his face out, isn't?
But not drowning his face out. But like the blues he used here feel correct. this feels right, but like not dragging the face out like that was not cool. I did not like that.
Again, it hides a lot of the violence, I guess you might classify it. It's blood, obviously, but like the violent attitude of this, I guess. It's One Punch Man. It should be violent, but whatever. We saw this one.
We saw that. That movement was funny.
We saw that.
Saw that. That's the only one that really is like, yeah, there's that. Oh gosh. That's Atomic Samurai.
So that looks really, really different.
Yeah.
Again, I understand what's happening. It's not like the other scenes that we've seen where things just seem completely divorced from the origin, but it seems just like, so take this for instance. Why not, out of everything else being dark and weird colors, why not make this an exaggerated color palette with this cloud? You don't even have to change the shape of the cloud. Just add in those crazy colors. That way you're making up for the lack of all the body destruction. But the body destruction in the original manga. So as you can see here, these are bodies exploding, and they couldn't do that, obviously. So instead of that, they just made a stupid dust cloud. It's like Naruto's running by really fast right now. It doesn't look like he's communicating an attack, but I understand that's what's happening. But that's more to do with the characters in the foreground sweating in awe of what they're seeing than it has to do with that cloud's movement. If you told me a character had run by really fast right now, I would have believed that. That does not look like an attack. Now, I'm not saying other anime doesn't do this, but for what we've seen One Punch Man doing throughout this episode in particular, this would have been a prime time to use those crazy neon colors. And that's not even more work. That's just more blup blup with the fill tool.
Like, they could have done a brighter background here. This...
Or with the... Yeah.
This, nah.
They got rid of the sword because, again, it flattened the image and it saved time with animating the character. So,
again, these backgrounds are so dark, like you can't see anything.
His hair stayed longer. That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Was it harder to draw shorter hair?
I don't know. You would think it's not. You think it wouldn't be.
I would hope, right?
Yeah. Oh, that
yeah, the dynamicism is missing. They flattened it out. So
yeah,
there's a Dutch angle with the way the manga's delivering it, and they've Dutch angled the floor, but his attack is not moving in the correct angle to that anymore, the way it was in the manga. So again, and his face is different again.
He looks like Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
He totally does.
Yeah.
I see it.
Stephen Strange, the samurai. Strange Samurai. Yeah.
No, it's Samurai Strange.
Samurai Strange, there it is.
Back to the past, Samurai Strange.
Yep. Marvel, I dare you. I dare you. Dude Samurai Jack, but with Doctor Strange. I dare you.
Oh my god, no!
I dare you. It would be great to see Stephen Strange battling a coup. That would be hilarious.
Dude, that lack of detailing is so sad.
Now, I know this isn't a Digimon, but the way that it's being presented to me looks very much like how the Digimon anime was presenting its monsters.
Yes, it does. But Digimon, to be fair, Digimon, especially like Beat Break, for example, the monsters there look a lot better than this.
Yeah.
And the color palette is better. You can actually see what's happening.
That was my next critique, is that like you gave everybody else a big red evil background. Why doesn't this guy have something crazy going on behind him? Again, it's just the fill tool. This isn't hand drawn anymore. Well, you know what I mean. It's not like on paper anymore.
Oh my god. This, what?
Oops.
What is this?
Yeah, his face is different again. They can't decide what Atomic Samurai looks like.
They really can't.
I don't think they want to know, you know? I can't wait till the end, to this whole season's over with and people go through and like isolate every face that Atomic Samurai.
And like make a video, like compilation video of Atomic Samurai's face.
Crazy.
Oh my
So again,
God.
they flattened it out. They made it. If you told me that this was from Gundam Build Divers or Build Fighters, that this was a custom Zaku of some kind or a custom Neo Zeon mobile suit, I would 100% believe you. It just, again, I know that the original design does this, but when you give it that pink center eye, that's a Zaku, dude. That's his.
That is a Zaku. Oh my god, that is.
I can't not see a Xeon mobile suit with this. It just paint, and Gundam's largely more recognized than One Punch Man. Not that One Punch Man is like behind Gundam or whatever. We all know that's
It
not
looks like
true.
a Yu-Gi-Oh monster. Oh my god.
Oh
really
yeah,
does.
that's true. That's true. Yeah, this could be like that Luster Knight that Yugi used to.
No. Luster Soldier, you mean?
Oh yeah,
Not
yeah, Luster Soldier. It
like
could,
a weak ass version of it.
But you know, without that wide shot, it does make this feel like a mobile suit rather than a guy walking down a hallway with this crazy armor on. So it's, I don't know. Sunrise, talk to JC staff because they may be getting in on your stuff, man. They might be getting in on your stuff.
Oh
Why is his nose 10
Stalker.
miles long? It's just.
He looks like he's 60 or like he's 50 or 60 years old. They aged him like so much.
And changed his hair too. Crazy. Now,
oh my god, but like these colors, man.
They just overlaid some effects over the top of him.
These colors, man.
And his face is different again. They don't know what he looks like. They just don't.
They really don't. It's
take
right
your best
there,
guess.
though.
Oh, so this is like the Silver Samurai from Marvel.
Oh my god. Dude,
I get it
pink.
now.
That pink, why?
Because he's evil and his eye is pink. But again, against the red, it looks very... I guess it feels very washed because the two colors are so close together. They could have done a purple here, and that pink would have been a lot more dynamic. They could have done a green, like that sick green back at the beginning with that pink, with that pink contrast.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that so much.
And there it is. See, now you see, like, they eroded a lot of the detail away because they didn't want to draw the swords disintegrating. They didn't want to draw the headpiece there, the crescent headpiece there at the top disintegrating, so they just blew it all away. It's amazing. I understand they have like a bajillion animes to make. That JC staff is doing the best that they can with what they've been assigned, but I don't know if I'm the guy that's in charge of like trying to monetize this whole effort.
That disintegration is so ass. That is so ass. Why they Mario 64's face? Oh my god. Not Mario 64.
Where did that go? Oh yeah. Yahoo! Oh no! Give him Mario's voice. But this again, like you can barely tell what's chasing after him anymore. It's one of those things where like you would have been better served to move the character up on him and have him closer to the camera. And then make the character in the background.
Oh my god.
Well, the character in the background has less features, so it's easier to draw. They make such strange decisions with this stuff. They really do. They make such strange decisions. I think we're come to the end of the video.
Oh my god. Like, what is this? Okay, that blue actually doesn't look that bad.
Right, the green's the problem.
Yeah.
Because the green kills the blue.
Yeah.
This would have been a really good time to put like a golden hue at the bottom there. That would have worked very well here.
That would have been way better.
You could have even done that pink from earlier. That pink from earlier rising up from the background would have created a more powerful contrast than
or red or something. Like
John Deere green. No, it's too low for John Deere green. This is like forest green. I see so many places in Maine painted this.
Were we harsh on 4Kids? No, we weren't harsh enough.
Apparently not. We didn't put the fear of God in everybody that came after them for this, you know? And Then there was the My Hero Academia.
Yeah, so this week was the season, or not season, I'm sorry, series finale for My Hero Academia. And it adapted chapters 429 and 430. And after this, we'll get into Jump Festa because that will be a leading point into it. Because I got a feeling that at Jump Festa, we'll find out, because I've heard some rumors through the grapevine that that 431 is going to be adapted in. Did you find it, or do you need me to get it?
No, I did. I got it. There we go.
So yeah, this part is from like the end of chapter. I think it was like 426, and yeah, and then this is in 429. But yeah, notice how All Might's wheelchair is different.
Yeah, it's easier to draw. The segments are out of the chair, and the chair is less UFO looking, a little closer to Professor Xavier's chair, I guess.
Yeah. All Might looks okay.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with this. If anything, he's better represented in the anime than he was in the manga, so.
I was not happy. That face just, I like this effect though. This effect was cool. I like what the anime did with this effect. I don't like how the hands were done though. I really like that black, like climbing up the arm, and how the hands were done. I'm sad that they didn't have the frame for it. Like what they did, they made the hand, the black that was coming off the hands, a little too soft for my liking. Something that I did like for this though is that for his origin story, they actually in the manga they didn't show his origin at all. There was only narration, but they actually in the anime they actually showed what happened, and how it was executed was really, really nice. I would have liked to still have the narration, but overall it looked really, what they did was really nice, minus the destruction of the house not being, the kid's house wasn't destroyed enough. That was my only gripe about it. But other than that, and also the kid's outfit not being as scruffy as it should. But other than that, it was really nice. And also the mouth, because his lips were sewn shut, it wasn't as grimy as it should be. He looked a little too clean for me. But other than that, like that first segment though was good. But this part here, look at that face. Look at Deku's face right there. There's no eyes or anything. It looks so weird.
That's really weird.
I saw that, I was like, what the hell?
You see this in comics sometimes, but very rarely in anime do they do this kind of thing. It's also, what was the problem with him taking notes? I don't know. Maybe it's just easier to draw Deku sitting at a table, but rather than him, writing. But I don't know.
That was just a weird choice.
Yeah.
I
don't see a problem with that.
This was cute.
Yeah.
This was adorable too. This was really cute.
Oh, good. He's got the horns, and she lost her horn.
Well, you'll see her horn again, but her horn is back. Oh, here's something that bothered me, okay? Go back to the grave scene for a second. Something I was really annoyed about that I would have, and this is why I kind of wanted this to be a 13 episode season, or like hell, maybe we'll get like a full set of OVAs or something. The epilogue pissed me off because I wanted to see like more stuff like this with Aizawa and MC, like saying goodbye to Lady Midnight and Shirakumo, especially since Vigilantes is going to be adapting their arc in season 2. And I really would have loved to see like an episode of like seeing everyone at the graveyard, like saying their farewells to the heroes that were lost in the war. And not getting that really pissed me off, especially since there was some major stain erasure. Like we didn't have Spinner recognize that Stain was the one that got him inspired, and like what All Might didn't mention, like Stain was the one that got him back and up on his feet and sacrificed himself for him, or Deku didn't have mention his moment with Stain. Like just the Stain erasure really pissed me off. I hated it so much. So I really was hoping the anime was going to fix it, and not having that really stinks. But But yeah,
So-
but this
It's a
is
good
cute.
point from Shinkai Atsuya, 950. Deku's slowly turning into Start All Might with no eyes.
That's
You're right.
true.
Where All Might's eyebrows are overshadowing his eyes a lot. But I think that was the point.
Yeah.
I think this was a complete mistake on their end to forget Deku's eyes, and the colorist was like, "Not my job," and just left it.
This was cute.
Yeah, it seems to be that the anime is really prioritizing the visuals versus what we saw with One Punch Man. You see where JC staff likes to really limit things and flatten things and try to get through it as quick as they can. It appears to be that the My Hero Academia anime is adding things in order
Well,
to provide the visuals. So
not only that, it's just that My Hero Academia has a bigger budget and they have more time.
yeah.
Well,
They treat
I
their
agree with that,
animators
Alpha
right.
Omega. I agree with that. That's why I was talking about in terms of the stain erasure, and that's why I wanted that extra moment in the graveyard. That's what I wanted. I wanted them to have like that moment where they, like at least a segment in one of the epilogue chapters where they're at the graveyard remembering all the heroes that were lost in the war, including Stain and Lady Midnight, especially for Aizawa and MC, where they were in the graveyard, mourning for, because they were together in school. They were part of a team in school, mourning their teammates, mourning their friends. And not having that really sucks. I'm not happy about that. That's the wrong side of Todoroki. Notice that?
Yeah.
That explosion looks really good.
Yeah, they're doing it right.
Remember when I was talking about the fire like a couple weeks ago of what I wanted to see when when Deku was answering all the prayers of those people when he was going in for that final shot against All for One. That's what I wanted. I wanted something like that, but also the hand, it's wrong. The fingers are supposed to be curled in more, and the hand should be a little bit more away from the camera. And
right.
And also, it's for a couple of reasons. Well, one, it matches the manga, and two, it's also for the shading reasons. It helps with the lighting on the face. There we go.
Yeah, it's a pretty standard classroom scene.
Yeah, it's cute. Notice there's a strap still hanging up there.
Strap?
Her spaghetti strap.
Oh yeah, it hadn't fallen down her shoulder yet. Yeah. Too much fan service, I guess.
Yeah. And the only issue I have with La Brava is that it's at the waist. It's not tight enough. So it makes her boobs look a little smaller.
A lot of that going around.
The hair looks good.
Yeah. They're really pushing for it.
This was such a cute moment. There's Eri. See her horns there.
Oh, okay. Good.
It's to represent, time passing by and all that.
Yeah. So it did grow back.
Yes, it did.
That's good. I don't know what Eri would be without her horn. It seems to be one of the cuter things about her, I guess. Apart from all the cuteness to begin with, it's
the
cute. Horn. Yeah. She's like a unicorn.
There's not enough expression in Deku's face, or not. I say Deku, Bakugo's face. Now we got the right side of the face. I don't know. The scar, I don't think is pronounced enough here.
It's not dark enough.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't see too many problems with that. Man in the background. Oh, hey. The dorky kid meeting the dorky teacher. Neat. You can be a hero.
Yes. You could be a hero too. There it is. How we became great heroes.
But that's not how you opened the story, Deku. How we opened the story was, this is how I became the world's greatest hero.
This is cute.
It is strange to me that All Might survived. I just
I
want to illustrate
pissed
that.
me
It's
off
pretty
too.
weird.
I
I
think
don't
that
want
if
him to
I
die. He's a good character. It's just really strange that the mentor fulfilled his goal and it's still there.
from what I remember at the time when I remember the fans were mixed on it. I remember I think I was not happy with it because it didn't mean as much. You know what I mean? Because like All Might was going to go out like guns a blazing, and it looked really powerful with how All
Yeah.
Might was going to go out against All for One.
I wouldn't even want him to die from All for One. Like if he just was like, at last, it's finally over.
Well, like after everything said and done, and he died
Yeah.
from like all the damages and stuff.
Right.
Of All for
In the
One that
hospital. He
sustained.
doesn't even have a stomach anymore, remember?
Yeah,
You know?
like
So him
and,
like dying in the hospital like Night Eye, surrounded by everyone that loves him, you know? And he takes Deku's hand and he says, "See, I told you you could be a hero." And then
Well,
on the
him
other
and
side of the
Bakugo.
table,
him
right,
and
yeah.
Bakugo there, yeah.
And on the other side of the bed is, oh no, I've forgotten her name now. His teacher, the float. I forgot her name now.
Oh my god.
His predecessor, and she's ready to welcome him in the afterlife because they've all been set free from One for All now.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty cool that they all the spirits go off to the afterlife together now that they've got All Might with them.
Yeah.
A full circle, you know?
Ugh.
Yeah, you know, you're right. It does kind of steal away from like what the character's meant to do. I mean, we all wanted Gohan to take over except for the editorial team, apparently. So
I just that bothered, as I said, the stain erasure bothered me. The stain erasure, I don't know if I'm like the only one that pissed off. Like people were pissed off about people were pissed off about Deku not having a quirk. I was like, dude, I said it like ages ago that that Deku was going to be quirkless. I predicted that like ages ago because All for One and One for All were going to neutralize each other. That was the only way it was going to end, and Deku was going to end up quirkless.
Even if they didn't, All for One is only meant, One for All is only meant to destroy One for All. We hear this constantly since the power is introduced, that its only reason why it exists is to accumulate enough punch to take out All for One.
Yeah. So like, and people are like, oh, it's going to leave Deku the quirk. I'm like, that wouldn't mean anything. It wouldn't. Like, this isn't like, I compare it to Koichi, and this is why, one of the reasons why I like Koichi and Vigilante so much. Koichi's quirk was suppressed for several years, and throughout Vigilantes, as Koichi's using his quirk, he's accumulating more and more powers through it. And like that to me makes sense. If you had something going on with Deku where his quirk was suppressed, and like when he acquired One for All and it unlocked a quirk, then that's a whole different story. But like, nah, that's not the case here. He was born quirkless and started the series quirkless. It's gonna end the series quirkless. That's who you're talking about. Is we were thinking of as Nana. Thank you.
Yep, Nana Shimura. Yeah, and so we have Kenneth here, and he's saying the lack of commitment to Horikoshi's part of not seeing, of letting his beloved characters go out on their own terms is the most bothersome myth. Also, All Might's mentor is Nana Shimura, and that's who I meant would be on the other side of the bed, like ushering him into the afterlife. But again, like that's we didn't get that. So.
The only thing though is that you had Stain go out like guns a blazing. Stain went out like a gangster. It was awesome, and then you didn't. But
he was pretty metal all the way.
Yeah, but you didn't have anything after the fact. You didn't have he was just gone. You had nothing, and that pissed me off.
Then we have again, like Deku ending up without a power is a little strange
That
because
like me.
Well, having him have like a latent leftover power the way All Might did, the little spark of it at the end.
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I don't want him like on top of a building ready to save the day. You know, that obviously was never meant to be his destiny. But him being in the classroom and jumping to save that kid, and then like a spark of, like gear shift, overdrive or whatever pops up, and he's like, oh, okay.
Well, like that makes sense because remember, All Might still had a little bit of power left in him after he passed it over. Like that to me makes sense. I can understand that. And Deku becoming a teacher makes sense because remember, he took notes of everyone's quirks and wrote out like the advantages and disadvantages. He was obsessed with that.
What would have been funny? Would have been funny is if the last scene, right? is him pulling the tie off and All Might transforming into like the big strong version of Deku that's like 12 feet tall. You know, he's pulling that down. Have no fear, I am here. And then credits. You know, and that
Oh my god, that would have been
hilarious.
funny. But I think in all reality, I think Deku was going to always become a teacher. And I do not like how Bakugo's face here looks. I hate how his face looks. It looks so bad.
It's really plain. That's unfortunate, you know?
Yeah, and the scars, I think the scar is missing or it's just not prominent enough.
But what they wanted to do is show off everybody around him. And I think that really makes up for the flat face, you know?
Yeah.
You've got the whole crew there. And it's really nice to see all of them coming together as adults. And it reminds me of that meme where all the doctors are lined in the hallway while all the superheroes are lined in the hallway while the doctors are walking through.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of that, where they're all stand to the side and let the teacher walk through.
Yeah.
But right up until the end, they're baiting that Yoi energy. Right up until the end.
Energy. Where's the shadow though?
Well, you know, it's there. It's just really faded. No, it's not. It's part of the concrete. Yeah, you're right. But they really give him the ghost thing without having a shadow, I guess. That he's not corporeal enough to cast a shadow.
Either hair's too short or it's just not moving enough.
Probably both.
I thought this was like, what was cool about this ending sequence was like they used the first opening song and they did a throwback to that. I thought that was a really nice touch.
Yeah.
That was so good. I'm happy with I'm happy, and here's my thing with Boku no Hero Academia's final season. I was told I was going to get an expansion on the content. And as soon as I saw that there was 11 episodes, I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to get what I want. I'm not. I got this final chapter got expanded, which is great and all. I'm glad about that, but there was content in some of the chapters leading up to the epilogue that I was hoping were going to get expanded upon. This season could have easily been 13 episodes, and we could have gotten content expanded upon, like the stuff about Shigaraki's connection to Shigaraki's dad's connection to All for One, as well as get like additional content in the epilogue that I really wanted.
We never found out who Deku's dad is.
Nope, we never got that either.
Never got an explanation as to why he is what he is, what happened, what made
never
him.
Got that.
None of that. And there were a couple other. Urahara, he didn't end up pairing up with her in the end. It was sort of like, "Hi, how are you?"
Oh, that's in the that's in chapter 431.
Oh, they do actually.
We get that pairing basically in chapter 431.
Okay,
which
good.
is
All right.
That was Shippergeddon. I remember that when 431 came out, and all it like Twitter, and there was the meltdowns on Twitter and Reddit specifically. Everyone lost their shit. They were so pissed. The Yaoi and Yuri shippers were so mad, and they were claiming that Horikoshi didn't do that it was AI, that it was fake. And I was just, like, everyone was looking at them. Like the majority of the fandom was looking at these shippers like, you guys are out of your mind. Just accept it.
Definitely.
Your stuff is not canon. It was never going to be canon. Just get over it. You have your fan fiction. Enjoy your fan fiction. It's just not canon. I did send you something that Sakura Bita sent me in my Discord.
Yep, I got them, but we do have the Jump Festa you wanted to talk about.
Yes. So I think it's Jump Festa Studio. Not
yep,
Studio.
That's the
it's
one.
For
Station.
No, the one. It's Super Stage is the one that has My Hero Academia. I'm sorry. Yeah. So Jump Festa. It's you have.
I have Studio. Excuse me. I have Station open. Is it Station?
It's Super Stage is what we need for My Hero Academia.
You gave me Studio?
Right there on the
Is
side, it says it's Jump Super Stage. It's right above Studio. No, go lower. Right there. Okay. That's what I need. hopefully Google Translate works for you on this one because it is a pain in the ass. I don't know what. There it goes. Okay, so scroll down. So scroll down a little bit to where it gets to My Hero Academia. So Jump Festa is this
My Hero
weekend.
Academia's right here.
No, that's the list. That's just the full schedule. If you go down, you'll see the actual listing. See? So,
Okay.
so My Hero Academia is the first of the super stage. So how it's working this year, instead of colors, we got super stage, studio, and station. And they are all going to be live streamed on YouTube. As of right now, I don't know if there's going to be subtitles or anything like that. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. So there will definitely be fan translators in the chat, and I kind of like it like that personally, because I every time there is a Western chat room, it's really toxic and annoying. So, but yeah, so this starts at December. It says December 20th, but that is the Japanese times. Western time. It's December 19th at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And for My Hero Academia, it says there's a major plus ultra announcement. And my guess is this is going to be when the OVA, because there's a rumored OVA that's adapting chapter 431. My guess is that's when it's going to be announced is there at Jump Festa. That's my guess. And then after that is going to be, and this at 10:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. 7:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is Gintama. And this is going to be the final portion of the 20th anniversary project information. So if you are a Gintama fan, Gintama panels are so much fun. You also have the mangaka that has always come out with like a really hilarious comment at the end of it, at the end of each Gintama panel. So yeah, Gintama panels are really, really fun. So I strongly recommend going to that. And usually this is why I'm like, yeah, there's probably not going to be any subtitles or anything like that, because usually Gintama panels do not have that. So after that, at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is Jujutsu Kaisen, and there's going to be season 3 information there. So we already, I know the trailer came out not too long ago, and obviously there's been the compilation movie that came out. I'm curious if they're going to show another trailer. That would be kind of sick. But yeah, so that's going to be coming. I think it's in January is when season 3 starts. So I'm really looking for, maybe we'll even get more information on the second part of season 3 as well. I think that's what happened at the previous Jump Festas. I wouldn't be surprised by that. So Oblivion Battery. Okay. So Oblivion Battery is like at 11:40 p.m. I believe. Let me just double check and make sure I'm right. Yeah, it should be 11:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 8:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So Oblivion Battery, for those of you that don't know, is basically, because I actually binge read it not too long ago. It's on Jump Plus, and the best way to describe it, it's like the Gintama of baseball series. It is so freaking funny and stupid. I strongly recommend it if you like comedy series and sports series. There's like Dragon Ball references in there. Or Dragon Ball jokes. There's oh god, what's the best? What other jokes are in there? There's really dumbass porn jokes in there too. Like to get like one of the players motivated to play baseball. One of the players, the pitcher, gets them like specialized compilations of porn for them. It's really funny. It's really stupid. But yeah, I really recommend it. If you need something to make you laugh, that manga it is amazing. It's batshit crazy and it is fun. And then after that, and this is at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or no, I'm sorry, 20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9:20 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is AO Exorcist. I'm not sure if we're going to get any more anime information. I think we're getting mobile game information. But yeah. the next one would be at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that's Kaiju number 8. That one we might get season 3 anime info, but I'm not sure. Because there wasn't like major, if you look at the listing, it doesn't say like major announcement. So that's why I'm like, I'm not sure, but something to be on the lookout for. And then after that one, it's like at 1:40 a.m. Like these go really late. Like 1:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is New Prince of Tennis. New Prince of Tennis, like I know the scanlation is behind a lot, but it's starting to catch up. The anime, I think I don't know if there's going to be a new anime soon for that one. But I know there's been like a stage show, but I don't know if there's going to be anything big coming from that one. But the next one though is the one that's going to be a huge one, and that's at 2:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that's World Trigger because Toei announced there is going to be a reboot anime. And from what I know, it's season 1 is getting rebooted. I don't know if season 2 and 3 are going to be rebooted, but I know for sure season 1 is getting rebooted, which is really weird if you ask me. I don't know why they're doing it. I know World Trigger is popular and all that, and I love World Trigger. I mean, I've been covering it for a long time, but it's out of all the series, really? Like Anno Exorcist can't get a reboot, which that one needs a reboot bad. Like that one is not even close to the source material.
Okay.
And Twin Star Exorcist needs a reboot bad, but those are different studios. So Toei, you can do what you want, I guess. But then the final panel for at least the first day on Super Stage, and that's like at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I feel bad for you on the East Coast. I do. And that midnight here on the West Coast, it's Sakamoto Days, and they're going to show stuff about the live action movie. There's supposed to be some stuff about the anime and manga. So we might get stuff about season, I think it'd be season 3, if I remember. Yeah, it should be season 3. No, it's either season 2 or season 3. Oh my God. I don't remember if it's like, because I think it was a split core. If it was a split core, it's season 2. If it's not, then it's season 3. Everything is just a freaking blur. I swear to God. Then at December 20th, which is the next day, the times are basically the same. So
21st.
So yeah, as the first day. So it's a lot easier to remember this stuff. So so it starts at the same time as the previous day, which is 9:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that is for Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer, the listing doesn't say anything about like showing anything for the second part of Infinity Castle. So, and last year, because they at the Demon Slayer panel, they didn't show anything for the first part of Infinity Castle. So I honestly doubt you're going to get anything. I really doubt it. So keep your expectations low for that one. The next one, which would be at 10:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is Blue Box. We might get an anime announcement for that one for the next season, but I'm not sure. That one's like a question mark on that, because the first season was very, very popular. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is a second season announcement at this panel. Okay, and then the next one would be 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that's Dr. Stone. Dr. Stone, it's probably going to show you the trailer for the finale, the series finale. I'm not happy, personally. I'm not happy with how Dr. Stone anime is being handled. I really wish we were getting like more of an expansion of the Dr. Stone manga. Because, the Dr. Stone manga was kind of rushed, in my opinion, especially in this arc. So, yeah, it is what it is, though. I'm not getting the mid-quel I want either. So, what can I say? But, yeah, after that would be 11:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that is Spy Family. And the big thing that's coming out of there is the first ever character popularity poll results are going to be revealed.
Oh.
And yeah, and the season finale, I think the season 3 finale is going to be out on the 20th. So we might be getting, my guess is we would get as the announcement for season 4. That would be my guess, unless there's 13 episodes, which I don't think there are. I think it's only 12 episodes this season. So we'll keep an eye out on that one. And then after that, at 12:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is Dan, and that's going to be season 3 info. And more than likely, there will be a trailer and maybe a release date, but probably at the very least a trailer. Now, this is the panel. This next one is the one that is probably going to be one of the biggest panels this year. And that is at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that is Bleach. Because we're getting everything for Core 4, and this is the final core of 1,000 Year Blood War. So we're going to be getting a trailer. We're going to get a release date. We're getting everything, the whole shebang. I'm looking forward to this personally. This is the one panel that I'm definitely staying up for this panel, period. Well, it's only 10 p.m. I'm on the West Coast. It's 10 p.m. for me. So, yeah, this is why I'm like, when I see like Bleach here, Bleach's panels have never had subtitles or anything like that. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I don't think Shueisha's going to have a separate thing for a separate stream for non-Japanese viewers or like anything with English subtitles. I don't think that's happening this year, and I don't blame them, frankly. But yeah, after that it's 1:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that's Akane Banashi. I know for a fact there's going to be anime information there. There will probably be a trailer as well. I would not be surprised if there was. There will probably be, if there isn't a release date already, I can't remember. It's been so long since I checked Akane Banashi anime stuff. There will probably be a release date too if there isn't already. So yeah, I don't know if they'll probably reveal like how many arcs are going to be adapted, but yeah, for sure there's going to definitely be something there. And then after that, this one's going to be interesting. This one's at 2:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that's the Chainsaw Man panel. Now, Chainsaw Man, and there's a major announcement here. If you've been to Chainsaw Man Jump Festa panels before, we've gotten huge announcements there. We've gotten the announcement of the part 2 of the manga. We've gotten the anime announcement there before. And here it's going to be very interesting. I really would love to get the announcement for part 3 of the manga because like it feels like, for me anyway, that part 2 is kind of wrapping up and that we're going to get into part 3. That's what it feels like anyway. Could be wrong. The anime, like, we could get an announcement for like the next format for the next portion of the anime, which would be either a TV format or a movie format. That it's obviously going to be one of the two because there's going to be another installment of the anime. We just don't know what it's going to be yet. We just don't. And then this is always how it is on this portion or this stage anyway. The final one for this, and this is that I feel bad for you on the East Coast. At 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is One Piece. This year for One Piece, we are getting anime information. We already know that the anime is going to be on hiatus until till like April, I think it is. Oh God, I can't remember off the top of my head. And we're getting information on the live action. We know season 2 is coming. Season 3, I know, is currently filming right now. We've gotten the casting announcements for at least for Ace and for who was it? For Mr. 2. So yeah, so we're probably going to get even more information on that, maybe even a release date for that. And And the next one I got here, there's less panels at the other ones, so you don't have to worry about that as much, Cider. The next one would be Jump Studio, which is right. Did you go to Jump Studio or Jump Stage? Oh, you're at Jump Station? Okay, so we're at Jump Studio. Okay, I don't know why it's not Google Translate is being stupid like that, but there it goes. Okay, so Jump Studio. All right, so the first one, this is at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, is for Rurouni Kenshin Hokkaido arc. I don't know, because says it's specifically for the manga, so I don't know if there will be anything for the anime remake specifically. But Hokkaido arc, if you have, obviously, it's probably never going to get licensed in the West because of I feel like Watsuki is just straight up blacklisted. So yeah, I don't think it'll ever get licensed here in the West. So you're gonna have to sail to 7 seas for it. But Hokkaido arc is really, really good. If you could separate the art from the artist, it's worth it. There's fantastic arcs on economics and like specifically capitalism. And the fight's really good too. And the fights have been fantastic. And I know I need to catch up with it as well because I know some chapters have some recently translated chapters have dropped as well. And then after that, this is like at 10:50. I hate that all these pails are starting at the same damn time. All this them are, but the next one would be at 10:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:50 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that's Mission Yozakura Family. We already got some info today, or not today, yesterday. But I think for sure we're going to get a trailer. I think did we get a release date? Hold on a second. I have it in my bookmarks because I think we did get a release date for that. Let's see if I have it here. Hold on. I thought I had it saved. No, I do not have it saved. I have to go this route. Just give me a second. I thought I had it saved here. I think.
Sorry, Richard was making a joke here. That's all. He says Reina Ueda, rather, is Japan's most psychopath-sounding voice actor. Kidding. May actually want to check this out. So.
Okay, so here it is. It's coming out April 2026.
Oh, okay.
We got the release date for that. So yeah, Mission Yozakura Family, we have that. So Hell's Paradise Shikakuraku is that one is at 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll probably get a trailer for that. The anime is definitely coming out in January. I have no faith in this anime. I am not sorry for saying it. I think people, I don't know why people worship Mappa because of freaking Jujutsu Kaisen and now Chainsaw Man Rize, but I'm sorry. What you see from Hell's Paradise Shikakuraku is the Mappa that I know. The Mappa that bastardizes shit. So you guys have gotten lucky with Chainsaw Man Rize specifically because you got a good director on there. So yeah, I have no faith in Hell's Paradise Shikakuraku, unfortunately. And that pisses me off because I covered the manga for a long time and I talk with the mangaka like every so often. So I'm Kaku, I'm very sorry that this is the case. But after that would be 1:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10:10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that's Mashley. Mashley, I know, is getting a complete manga to anime adaptation. I don't know if there's going to be a trailer there or not. There could be, but based on the listing, I don't think there's going to be. It's a slim chance that there will be. But the last one for the first day, which is again December 19th, and that's at 2:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, is Masahe No Slave. And yes, the season 2 is coming out in January. High Dive already confirmed that they will have an uncensored version for the simulcast. So yes, there will not be, well, there is a censored version available, but there is an uncensored version available as well. And there will probably be probably the final trailer will come out, and I think that's going to be like the main thing from Say No Slave. But then the next day, again, we get the same times here. So for the first one at like 9:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is Witch Watch, and that will be information for season 2, because season 2 has been confirmed. I don't know if there will be a trailer or not, but there will probably be some. There will probably be at least like a teaser visual or something. There will be something for season 2, because we already know it's been confirmed. Then after that, and that's like at 10:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:50 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, is Hell Teacher Jigoku Sensei Nube season, and that will be season 2 anime info, and that I think is coming next season as well, which is in January, I believe. After that, which is at midnight Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, is the Elusive Samurai, which is definitely going to have season 2 anime info. So hopefully it will.
Look at like Google Translate did this. It says the young master who is good at escape.
I know, Google Translate, you were fucking stupid. It's the Elusive Samurai. You were dumb.
It's not like Japan's some new language. It's amazing.
Seriously. But yeah, there's definitely going to be season 2 info. I'm hoping there will be a trailer. I know the manga is ending soon. I don't know if it'll end next month or not, but it is definitely ending soon. I love this manga. I'm sad that Cloverworks is not doing Matsui's art justice, but if you have not read The Elusive Samurai, go read it. Especially if you like Demon Slayer, you will like this series. It's really, really good. And then Black Clover, this is the one you're going to want to go to. So Black Clover, and this one's at 1:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Black Clover, it is confirmed that there will be season 2 information. Hopefully there will be a trailer. I'm praying that there will be a trailer. I don't know if there will be a release date or not, or at least a time window anyway. But I'm really excited for the Black Clover panel. That one is going to be a good one to go to. And then the final one for Jump Studios panels, and that's like at 2:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, is Haikyuu. Okay. There's one more movie I know that's supposed to be coming. I doubt that based on the listing, I doubt there's anything about it coming. I doubt it. It's very slim to none. But then the final stage this year is Jump Station. And again, it's starting at the same time as like all the other stages, which is very frustrating. And it starts at, again, 9:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do you have the station one up?
I think so.
And you're at studio.
Right.
It's station.
Which one am I looking for now?
Yeah, this is the right one. Scroll down. Yeah, so the first one is Maraidi the Patriot. This one, I was like thinking, oh my God, is this going to be, we're going to get something about the anime or the manga? Nah, it's about the musical. It's like, okay, that's random. But yeah. So that one, like, unless you're into the musical, you don't have to worry about this one. The next one.
That's commitment.
That is.
You're a voice actor. You're not, and that's what you're dressing yourself up as. Or is it a live action musical?
It's stage, a live action stage.
Okay,
musical.
so these are the actors. All right.
Yeah. At the next one would be the main one you'd want to go to for at least the first day, or the first out of them, is 10:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:50 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is Undead. It's a triple feature, which is Undead Unluck, Assassination Classroom, and Kochikame. Undead Unluck is obviously going to be for the upcoming special that's coming out on Christmas. Assassination Classroom is the 10-year anniversary production or programming that's coming, including the movie that that a trailer came out for yesterday. And then Kochikame is for the 50th anniversary. Yeah, Kochikame has been around for a really long time. Crazy, right? The next one and the next couple are ones that I'm looking forward to personally is at midnight Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is Marriage Toxin, which is it's a series on Jump Plus, or it's a Manga Plus exclusive. Unless you're getting physical releases, then it's Viz. It's a really fun assassin series where you have an assassin named Garo who is trying to find a wife. And it's a really, really fun series. I really recommend it. I think Bones is animating this one, if I remember correctly. We've gotten somewhat of a trailer already, but I think they're going to release a new trailer for this. I love Marriage Toxin. The next one after that is at 1:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10:10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that is Kindergarten Wars. Kindergarten Wars is, again, this is another, this is an assassin series too. This one is also a Manga Plus exclusive. If you and it's on Jump Plus. Basically, these are criminals trying to work off their time by protecting these kids of rich kids, these rich kids. And it's a really fun series. I'm really happy that this one got an anime. I'm hoping we're gonna get a trailer for it because we haven't gotten anything for this one besides the anime confirmation that this got an anime. We haven't gotten anything for it, so I'm hoping that this is gonna be where we're gonna get like a trailer and maybe like a release window and a studio. I don't think we've gotten even a studio announcement for this one yet. But yeah. Then after that, the last one for the first day is at like 2:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again, I feel so bad for you on the East Coast. I really do. It's a two for one. It's Phantom Busters and Gogoro Kugai. I think for this one, it's mainly just promoting the manga. I doubt Gogoro Kugai is going to get an anime announcement as much as people want it to. It's not. There's not enough content for Gogoro Kugai, and I think it's the same thing for Phantom Busters. There's not enough content to adapt.
Sure.
Yeah. And then the final portion we're going to be talking about here, it starts again 9:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's You and Me Are Polar Opposites, and that anime, I think that anime is starting soon. It's that one I believe is a Manga Plus exclusive series as well, if I remember correctly. That manga wrapped up not too long ago. It is a fun rom-com series, so if you're a rom-com person, you will like this one a lot. I believe that I think there was a trailer that came out not too long ago, so they'll probably show that trailer as well as like maybe some last minute info. But the one after this one, there's so many assassin series coming out, man. And this next one, which is at 10:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:50 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is Kill Blue. So Kill Blue wrapped up recently. And the best way to describe Kill Blue, it's like a mix of Detective Conan and Marriage Toxin, where this guy, I think if I remember correctly, he is a detective. He takes a pill and he takes a drug and he becomes a kid and is going to school and solving crimes and shit like that. And dealing with assassins too. I couldn't get into Kill Blue because it was just way too much like Marriage Toxin and Detective Conan. And it just, I don't know, it just wasn't for me. I had the same issue with Mashley where it was just too much like it was like a poor man's one series, and I just couldn't get into it for that reason. So yeah, but the next one after that, and that's at midnight Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, is Dark Gathering. Dark Gathering, if you have not read it, is a fantastic horror series. If you are into horror and exorcism and stuff like that, Dark Gathering is really, really good. I think we're going to get, hopefully we'll get information on season 2 because season 2 got announced earlier this year. So hopefully we'll get like a trailer for season 2 and maybe a release date if there hasn't been one already. Unfortunately, Katrina is the one localizing it, and she has sadly botched it before. So that's the only downside to this anime. But yeah. Yeah, of course. But anyways, after that, like 1:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10:10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is Black Torch, which we talked about earlier. Obviously, we had a trailer that came out. I think that trailer came out like a week ago. So I don't know if they're going to have any more. It's going to have an additional trailer or whatnot, or they're just going to show the same trailer. But we'll have to wait and see on that. And then the final panel that we're going to talk about briefly is at 2:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11:20 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that is "'Tis Time for Torture Princess," and that one is going to be basically giving additional info for season 2 that's coming out. And that one is a really fun series that is a Manga Plus exclusive that is about this this princess that is trapped in a demon lord castle, and she is supposed to be getting tortured, but she's getting tortured interrogated / tortured.
Okay.
So she could get information about the kingdom. But like it's not like the type of torture you would think it is. It's comedic. It's not serious. It's very comedic, and it's very fun. It's like it's like Sleeping Princess in Demon Castle in a way, if you've ever heard of that series. Which is a really fun one too. But yeah, so Jump Festa this year is going to be really interesting. I don't know if there's going to be as many major announcements as like previous years, but there should be some really good stuff this year. It's just going to be, I just think it's very interesting that we're not getting that Shueisha is deciding to be like, yeah, we're not going to deal with toxic Westerners this year. And that means no English subtitles or AI dub, which they have done too.
Yeah.
That was so horrible. Do you remember that, Cider?
Oh, it's gone everywhere.
No, they did the AI. They literally did the AI dub like 2 years ago.
Oh, probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, they did. It was, or like they.
I thought you were talking about the Amazon thing. I just everybody everywhere has been talking about that.
No. Shueisha did it like an attempted dub for Jump Festa a couple years ago, and it was horrible.
Wow.
People hated it so much.
What a surprise.
They were demanding subtitles. So yeah, this is just a very interesting decision, because usually by now they would have, and the reason why I'm saying that I don't think they're going to have streams for the global audience is because by now they would have them up. So it's very interesting, isn't it, that Shueisha's not doing that this year?
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, like the whole fixed it thing is very annoying for the people back in Japan. You know, the whole phenomenon of race swapping anime characters and stuff, that's very irritating to them. So I can't imagine they want to perpetuate that.
Well, it's not that. It's more so like Westerners were just like spamming the hell out of the chat and like putting like really nasty shit in the chat and like starting like fan wars and shit. It's just really annoying.
And Spencer lets us know that during the Game Awards, there were people sending super chats.
Oh my God.
It must have been surreal, you know, receiving those. Like, what do you expect? You could have stopped the show, read the super chat? Is that what you're supposed to do?
Dude, that's wild. It's like, dude, they're not even modding the chat.
But speaking of AI, Sakura Mita asked for a little help earlier and reached out to you over on Discord about it, and you sent me those screenshots. So Sakura Mita, for your Fox Tokusatsu hero here, I'd recommend talking to the AI about layered armor. So that way that the well, you're going with a flame effect. That flame effect might be translated into a physical armor shape. And that way the flame isn't sort of overlaid a jumpsuit. It is an armor piece that is in the shape of a flame. That probably would help. Claws on a wolf isn't really a bad thing. They use their teeth for everything, but you're not going to have your hero run around biting people. So the claws are fine. People aren't going to be mad that the wolf character is using claws. That's not a big deal. I think Geki Violet had some type of claw attack as well. So it's not really a big hiccup in all of that. And then when you describe a Black Panther, that's just what's going to happen. The AI cannot differentiate between those two data pools. So what you want to do is just tell it a black leopard, or a black on black leopard, and that might solve your problem that you have here. As for making the character more, I think that's what you asked for, right? Was Black Marvel character rather than real life. Eco Ranger design advice. Like I said, you just want to let it know that you're talking about a black jaguar, and that jaguar rather, and that'll probably solve your problem. Black on black jaguar. You could describe it as a cat-like tokusatsu hero, but you want to make sure it has like a sleek, futuristic feature to it. Maybe use that language, so that way the suit isn't like a cat head, a cat mascot. And of course, it's going to employ the purple here due to the fact that it's related to the Black Panther. So if you don't want the purple, you want to let it know about the energy projections. It also helps to name the weapon, the specific type of sword you're using, you want it to use, and then go forward and describe how that is different from what a Google search would pull up. So if you're looking for a curved broadsword, I know that's not what you've got here because I don't know what these weapons are called, but if you wanted a curved broadsword, you would have to let the AI know that you want a curved broadsword. Rather than a broadsword with a curve, it's not going to do that right. You want a curved broadsword. That way the language is clear in what you're asking for. But other than that, it's really just more drilling down to the specific words the AI wants in order to grant you what you're looking for. I'd also recommend some contrasting colors to it. Gold, obviously, is going to be associated with the Black Panther. So maybe you'd like to try white. Some white in here. And again, the layered armor look isn't going to give you like the big bulky armor. In fact, if you tell it light armor, it's only going to apply it on the thighs, probably the shoulders and the forearms, maybe a little bit on the chest, but I highly doubt it. Most of the time, the light armor focuses on the limbs. So that's my best advice on that stuff, though. So,
but
I
also,
have to tell
like,
you, I am.
You're tired.
Yeah, I
tired?
am pretty
Is that
burnt
what it is?
out. I'm having a really hard time holding it together.
That's okay.
So-
Yeah, it's okay.
So,
But
guys,
yeah,
remember,
this- Mhm.
what's that? I just
Yeah,
want to
go
say
ahead.
we'll be back to talk about Jump Festa next week, and make sure to tune into Miss Nerdigan's coverage of it. Speaking of which, Miss Nerdigans, where do we find you when the show is over?
You can find me on Nerdigans Inc. on YouTube, where we cover anime and manga every day. And speaking of, I will have now that I know what's going on in terms of the YouTube streams for Jump Festa, we'll have we'll record our guide for Jump Festa tomorrow or Wednesday and have that up. You can also check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/PackerGirl, where we are doing our anime content, and including One Punch Man Season 3, which it feels like more like torture than anything else, but I'm doing it anyway. We're covering Gachiakuda, Togenanki, Sanda, which is really fun to cover. Same with Digimon Beat Break, which is, again, another fun one to cover. And Spy Family Season 3. I think that's it, right? Yeah. Yeah. And also I gotta go through the stuff for winter 2026. So that I gotta start going through that and figuring out which series I'm gonna be covering for that. And I'll probably make a video on that like this week or next week. And then you can follow me on Twitter here, where we're covering like everything right now. And then for Abounding, I'm working on the Siren article. I'm working on an article on Zombie Man, on the 4Kidsing of Zombie Man, because it is wild. This whole thing is just so wild. I reached out to one of the animators who confirmed on Twitter that some of the shots for episode 10 that he had to fix some of the problems were removed too.
Yep.
So, and he's a well-respected anime in his own right, Kenshiro Aoki. And he actually did explain like some of the problems just in animation in general, which, oh God, it does explain a lot. So I did tweet about those. So this is why you go follow me on Twitter as well. Make sure you guys are staying tuned to Bounding into Comics for more goodness. I know Spencer's got some streams planned. I don't know what we're going to be doing for Christmas. It's Hanukkah right now. So speaking of, I got to find my menorah and light it up right after this and probably grab something to eat. But anyways, anything to add, Cider?
Yeah, just on Friday, we have this gaming stream. Make sure you tune in to find out what's going on. You can even vote over in the Discord. The link to the Discord is in the description. Until next week, guys, we hope you have a good time. And as always, good luck out there.